Hello everyone, it's Anna, also known as That Star Wars Girl, and before the video starts, I just wanted to let everyone know that I have an Indiegogo live right now of my very first comic book cover ever. So if you like me and you want to support my artwork, go on to Indiegogo, the link is in the description below, and check out some of the tiers, and if you support it, it would mean the world to me. Thank you so much everyone, and now on to today's video.
I think that the thing that George never did was maintain the status quo. And I think that that's really important because
fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you!
Something that George initially set out to do was a kind of 3-act saga with these 3 trilogies. And I think we felt that we should honor and respect that.
Liar! Liar! Liar!
He did. He wrote the script, which I'm sure a lot of people don't necessarily realize.
We just want to say, fuck you. Oh, fuck you, fuck you. Fuck you, fuck you. Fuck, 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 fuck.
He's not my Luke Skywalker. I said to Ryan, I said, Jedis don't give up. I mean, even if he had a problem, he would maybe take a year to try and regroup. But if he made a mistake, he would try and right that wrong. So right there, we had a fundamental difference.
Here we are.
Oh, the depression. Oh no, it's tweaking out again.
Oh no.
Am I tweaking or is it just
I
me?
see you fine. Am I tweaking
Jessi.
for you? Am I rabbit? Am I dead?
Oh no, we're roboting. Well, hello everyone, it's Anna, also known as That Star Wars Girl, and I'm joined by my co-host, Miss Jessi Milestone herself. Hello, Jessi.
Hi, it's me.
Yes,
I
I
hope
did.
you guys can see and or hear me. Sounds like we're having some technical difficulties today. I guess the chat.
It's just all difficulties all day, every day.
I guess the chat can tell us how it looks on this side. So chat says we sound all right. So.
Maybe it is just like this back end side of things, but oh my god, I'm so sorry I'm late, guys. I went to the post office to go check my P.O. box and to mail some things out for Etsy, and I was literally a block or 2 away from my house, and I got rear-ended. And of course, the person didn't have insurance, and it's not fun, not fun. The universe is just telling me I need to buy a new car, and I'm like, no, but it's not a good week. But yeah, so I am freaking out again. My screen just keeps going black with this little circle. But there was a lot of stuff I wanted to talk about. Last of Us 2. Have you seen any of the streams with PewDiePie?
I haven't seen any of the streams. I've been reading some of the what people are saying, but I have not.
Oh, he's just like every minute or so he's just like, I don't want to play this anymore, and gets out. So The Last of Us 2 news is out. Everyone knows that all of those other reviews were fake, and people that are actually playing it are not enjoying it. Michael Keaton's coming back to Batman. Did you hear that?
He is.
And then we of course have to talk about the Raylo and how Raylo is dumb. And I feel like there was a few other things I had on my list of things that I wanted to talk about this week, but
I'd love to
decide to say fuck you to me.
I would also like to take a moment at some point to cover. We lost 2 great men in film this week. We lost Ian Holm and Joel Schumacher. So I'd love to take we can pay our respects as well. F in the chat for Joel and for Ian. So. And F in the chat because fuck Naughty Dog. So
that is a thing too. And it sucks because I have a lot of friends that like do work for Naughty Dog, like they're are contracted out by Naughty Dog as artists.
Yeah.
And they all love their job, but I mean the way that the company is looking, I'm like, oh god.
It sucks. Yeah.
Thesaurus woke Rex thing heard of an upcoming hateful movie called Kraka. It makes The Last of Us 2 look cute. Oh god. Thank you for the super chat. But what were you gonna say, Jessi?
I was gonna say it was the mental gymnastics that people are doing already over Naughty Dog. I pulled this quote right after it was this article I had, this bullshit article I had found, and I pulled this quote. It was right after this person got through talking about how they're like, yeah, so the gameplay is really clunky. Like, it took me 5 to 6 hours to get used to the motion of the character, and it's still clunky throughout the entire game. And I'm like, 5 to 6 hours? It should take you 5 to 6 minutes to adjust to the motion in the game. Even when I started playing Xbox and started playing games like Halo, where you have the dual joystick, one to look and one to move, it took me probably 5 to 6 minutes to at least get enough of a handle on it. And by 5 to 6 hours in, I was going around like it was like butter, I'm like, I am fucking Master Chief. 5 to 6 hours? That's a big problem with the game, especially when it's your second pass on this game. You should have figured out the basic things like how your characters move by now. And then this person also goes on to say,
isn't the game only 20 to 30 hours though?
It's something like that. That's what I would think. So it's like takes you a quarter of the time playing the actual game, 25% of the game to even master how the character freaking moves. And then also talk about, and there's all these other things. I'm learning more and more about this. Obviously, the story and the characters' motivations are a huge part of this game. And this writer even goes to say, like, there's a bunch of things the characters do that just seem really weird and, I not like them at all and whatnot. But Naughty Dog did so much right between the complex characters, thoughtful story, and exhilarating gameplay. Dwelling on the imperfections would be absurd. No, that's what critics are supposed to do. Critics are supposed to say, these are the things they did right, and these are the things they did wrong. Sitting there going like 10 out of 10, forget the... That's the idiocy that we do as a society. Everything is absolute. It's either, okay, does the good outweigh the bad? Then this is 100% perfect. Does the bad outweigh the good? Then this is garbage and cancel it. There's a middle ground. You can have a nuanced opinion. Having a nuance, talking about the failures of the gameplay doesn't make you, anti-gay because you don't like the gameplay on a game that has gay characters. That's the lunacy we've gotten to as a society. Is we're like, I can't criticize anything about this game because the important part about this game is gay characters. And no, that shouldn't be the important part about anything. Gay people and gay characters should be treated like people. Controls are difficult. 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. I know. I don't know if you saw though, Jessi. I'm blanking on the name of the website, but there's this one website that they're censoring people's reviews. So if you try to give the game a bad review, it will not show it.
Of course not. Of course it won't.
I don't know if you were aware.
Why do we have free information in a thinking society that is allowed to critique each other? We could just completely control the flow of information. We're living in fucking 1984. It's ridiculous.
Yep. No, so I actually went through the other day when people had been playing it, and I was, because honestly, as terrible as Twitter is, if you want like the real information and immediately to be able to see this is a real human, this is a bot, this might be a real human that has like an avatar or a fake name, I get it, but it's like you can see that this is a real human. They've been posting since like 2015 and stuff. It's not just a bot account that got made to go leave a review on something like Rotten Tomatoes, or I think it's Metacritic is the name of the website, if I'm thinking.
Yeah, someone put it in here. Someone said
yeah, and so it's like an account that it's like they have no other reviews, but they gave this game 10 out of 10. So let me pull those up right now. Hopefully this works, but we are going to go and go look at some of these reviews that I was tweeting out the other day. So let me pull this up real fast. So I haven't given too many things on like how I feel about it, because it's like I haven't played this game. I had no interest in playing this game. It's about zombies and a father and a daughter. I'm like, okay, I love stories that are about friendship or father-daughter relationships, but I'm not exactly interested in playing a zombie game or whatever post-apocalyptic zombie game. I'd rather play Star Wars. So this is what somebody said. Neil, what is this? Did you think this was good? Did you think at all The Last of Us 2? And it's I'm going to find, and I'm going to kill every last one of them except for the one responsible for butchering my father in front of me. She gets to live. So I think that was a reference to Ellie, who's the girl. Yeah. And so Joel gets killed, who is supposed to be her father figure. Again, I haven't played this.
Ellie. Ellie kills him, by the way. Early, this is what I've learned. So Ellie
Abby kills him.
Abby kills
him with the
golf club or something.
And then Ellie tries to get revenge, but then she kills everyone else except for the person that killed him.
because
And he got killed really early on in the game, is what I told.
Which is this is what I've heard has been a huge criticism, is that apparently when they promoted The Last of Us 2, they promoted it as continuing Joel's story. Yeah, sorry, Alfarius, there are going to be game spoilers. Who cares if you play it or don't? But I guess we probably should have given a spoiler alert.
It's my channel that comes.
That's your spoiler. You're on.
I apologize. Everyone's been asking me to do a video on this. I haven't played this damn game, so I don't know. But I saw this, and this is why everything that I retweeted, I just did the same face. I'm just like, ooh. But so that's somebody's review of the game, and I honestly think this is more reliable. As censored as Twitter is, that's where I've seen all of the actual reviews of this damn game.
Now I'm also looking at the game. I'm hearing about this gameplay too, and just the way they wrote the story. They ripped straight up. He ripped this whole like the idea of the gameplay and the story, and like because it's sort of, this is kind of like a shoot 'em up game, right? It's more of a, you go through the complex story.
I think there's one of these ones that I have on here that shows some gameplay. Find it.
It's like a hack and slash, right? You're mostly like, there's a big story and you're going through it.
Yeah, this like you run and then you shoot.
Yeah,
that was somebody trying to kill Abby.
Yeah, it's a third person, shoot 'em up hack and slash where like there's a plot, there's a story you're following. It's like first person shooters too. You're following the plot, you're following the story, but you're going through the map. You're not like solving puzzles or making choices or whatnot. You're going through the map with weapons and killing zombies.
Yeah, I think this is the gameplay.
And no, they straight up though, this whole plot, they just stole it from Halo 2. This whole idea where it's like two people on opposite sides who are enemies and you play as both of them and eventually they come together and work together and all that stuff. That's just the game. That's literally the base gameplay plot from Halo 2. Is in the same, but what Halo 2 did correctly, which this did not do, because this is a complaint. And again, these is all what I got from the article that somebody wrote lauding how great the game is. Starts out by telling me everything wrong with it, but if you play till the end, it all makes sense, and all the character resolution, all the character motivations get resolved. Because that's the whole thing, is you get Abby in the beginning who kills Joel, and you don't find out until much later in the game why she did it. Apparently, once I read all that, I'm like, okay, there's an interesting story here. There's a compelling motivation. It sounds like it's bullshit at the end, where Ellie doesn't, based on the way the entire first game plays, the way the way everything happens, it seems highly suspect that these two characters just come together and I assume want to bang because they're lesbians and that's important for some reason. But the whole thing in Halo, when you start out the second game, you follow the Arbiter. You learn what he becomes his Arbiter, his character. He's one of the bad guys. He's one of the alien monsters that are just these faceless aliens who don't ever speak English, really, aside from going, monster, when you're playing them. And this whole thing, the cutscene starts out with this character, and why he's doing this. And you already, before you even start to play as him, you understand his motivation. You're like, okay, I'm on board. Whereas in this game, I guess you start to play as Abby, like the second half of the game, apparently you're Abby way more than you are Ellie through the second half. And you still don't you still haven't figured out why yet.
Yeah, I think you play it for 10 hours, right? As Abby.
Yeah, I've heard the whole back half of the game is almost exclusively playing as Abby. And,
can you tell me? So everyone, sorry, I do want to know the spoilers, but can you? Why is it that she kills Joel? Can you explain the point of it?
All right, spoilers for everyone. This is your last and final warning. Okay, so it turns out the whole thing in the first one was Joel saving at the last minute saves Ellie right before this operation that would kill her because she's immune and they want to operate to find out what it is about her that's immune to the zombie fungus. And he finds out that they have to kill her in order to do this, and they're just going to do it anyway. So he busts in, kills everybody. So I read this okay, that's a reasonable reason why he should, quote, get his comeuppance, because he kills everybody who are supposed to be the good guys. He kills all the non-zombies to protect and save Ellie, including the doctor who's about to operate on her. And so
is she his actual daughter? Like, why would he save her?
I don't think so. I think it's a father kind of thing, but I think it was in the original game, he's tasked to bring her to these people. The Fireflies are the resistance group that are fighting against the zombies, and he is this, badass operative dude or whatever who gets He finds Ellie. They find out she's immune. He's going to bring her to these Firefly people so they can figure out how to create a cure. But then he finds out they're going to kill her to get the cure, and then he turns on them and kills them all. And so that game ends up enslaving Ellie and killing all these people. So what you eventually find out way down the line is that Abby's father was the surgeon who was going to operate on Ellie. And so that's her motivation for wanting to kill Joel and then which sparks the revenge.
Because he killed her father.
And I'm like, that's compelling, but we should know that as soon as we meet Abby, or like right after she kills Joel, you know?
Yeah, like you killed my father.
Except for her to die. This is not.
Or she could say that when she's killing him, like, this is why I'm killing you, because you murdered my father.
Right, or even have her kill him and then do a cutscene flashback of, you know, finding out her father died and who it is. Great, you can reveal that really right away, and it's awesome. And now people are going to be on board. Now people are like, okay, I get why you killed Joel. I get this whole paying for his sins from the last movie and the complicated shades of gray where her father was going to kill Ellie, but it was still her father and he was still a person and blah 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 blah. I get it, you know, but. Now I know from the beginning, I'm going to sit there for like 10 hours before I realize that Abby is actually a good person after. I've already played as her a bunch, you know, because I guess you do end up playing with her a lot in the beginning too. And I've already played as this character that I hate who is the bad guy. And I have to wait. I'm just going to sit on the edge of my seat and wait playing as someone I don't even like to find out what her motivation is. Like, why not just put it in the beginning? This is bullshit where you pull in a Ryan Johnson. I'm going to be subversive in my video game making. Don't. Just make a good game. You don't be subversive. Video games are not the place to get all subversive with your fucking storytelling. That's exactly right. Someone in the chat just said execution matters. 100%. Execution matters. Just because the idea's there and the story's there and it's a good idea, because if you go through that whole plot, I'm like, it's not a bad idea. Just the execution is dog shit. It doesn't make any sense.
Well, also, it's one of those things that's like, oh, would it make a difference? So, spoiler alert, if you've never seen this movie, would it make a difference to the plot if they said at the beginning of the movie, Soylent Green is people? Yeah, going into it, if you're watching it for the first time, then you're looking around and you're like, does everyone know that Soylent Green is people? Do they all know that they're all basically cannibals? Or is it more impactful at the very end of the movie when you find out the final scene and that you find out that Soylent Green is people? Which one is more impactful? For you going through the story with this character, the second one is more impactful. Watching it on a repeat and seeing all these things and seeing the characters go through this and the fact that they don't know but you know, it's a different experience. So there's ways to do it, and for it to, you know, you could have that where the audience does already know, and that's, you know, that's when the movie or the plot's been spoiled. But could you imagine if it started off like a movie with, hey, start off the Avengers with Thanos coming in and killing everyone, but not explaining anything about Thanos.
Right? We don't know anything about Thanos. Everyone's terrified.
Thanos comes and kills everyone.
Right? He shows up, corrects a bunch of people. Everyone's been like, Thanos. We're like, who is Thanos? We don't know anything about this guy. And then just... Exactly. Because that's the whole thing, is you can tell the audience that, you know, Abby's backstory and why we're playing as her and why we care. Ellie doesn't have to know. You're not spoiling it for the characters in the world, not at all. But that's the whole point, is in a video game too, we play as the heroes. We are physically being those people. We're controlling them. We want to play as we want to be the hero of the story. We don't want to play as the character who just killed our favorite character. Joel's the guy you play as throughout the first movie.
On my end, she roboted out, and it's funny.
Oh, I did? I beat Boots.
Oh, no.
Jessi! Oh no, you're frozen for me.
No.
I can see me, but you're frozen.
It might be me.
We'll see.
I'm not sure. The chat is frozen. It's probably me.
We'll see.
Let me see.
The chat says you're alive again. But yeah. So yeah. I mean,
is it me? Am I frozen?
I don't know. You're unfrozen now. I hear you now, just fine.
Okay, but so I'm the one that keeps
froze. Yeah, everyone
is frozen.
Everyone's
okay. Now that's fine if I freeze. I missed your entire little rant.
Oh, that's okay. I was just off on a roll. I was mid thing when you froze. I was like, but I was just, I mean, the whole thing is like, you're killing the main character, the character that people played as, the one they're the most attached to, and that's the whole thing. Especially, look, if you're gonna tease, it's one thing to not publicly come out and be like, yeah, it's going to be continue Joel's story, and it's all going to be about Joel and stuff like that, you know, and then to have him die off in the beginning and be like, what the hell? I wouldn't see this coming. You know, if you're going to come out and do that and be like, we're going to continue Joel's story. We're going to pick up the story where he left off and all that. And we're going to have this fucking twist where he dies in the beginning. then you need to justify that and right away before you now have me play as his killer. Because I'm just not interested to play as his killer. I'm like, why? I don't want her to succeed. And be like, all right, Abby, look, you're dead. Haha, you got eaten by zombies. Suck it, bitch. You know?
Did she?
No, but I'm saying if I had to play as her and I really like Joel as a character and now all of a sudden play as Abby, I'd be like, look, you got eaten. Ha ha ha. I don't even care about winning. You know? And that's people are saying in the chat too. It sounds like they turned Joel into a Jake. He became a Jake Skywalker base, which is exactly what it sounds like. Is let's take our main hero that we took all this time developing from game one and go. Now he's a toxic man and he's bad, and we had to kill him to get rid of his toxic masculinity.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen some of the cutscenes. I saw the scene where Joel dies, and like how they shoot him in the knee, and then she beats him to death with the golf
golf club thing. Yeah.
Then I saw the sex scene, which I'm like, not if it floats your boat, you know, you do you. But I personally don't need to see a sex scene in a video game if I'm trying to play a video game.
Now, from what I
I want to play the damn game and defeat the boss. I don't care if characters are getting it on.
No, I don't. From what I've heard, also doesn't the game? Some people were all talking about like the game starting. Was this true? Where like the game starts with like a male gay sex scene where you're actually playing as dudes fucking. That's what I heard, but I don't know if that's true or not.
I froze, so I missed what you said.
Oh, apparently like the game starts too, where they're like a gay sex scene between two dudes, like early in the game, and you're actually playing though. That's like during the gameplay, you're like a dude banging a dude. That's what someone said, but I
thought one of the dudes was supposedly Abby.
Oh, one of the dudes ends up being Abby or something?
Isn't that?
I don't know.
No, because the only sex scene that I saw was that it's Abby, but people don't. They made her okay. So I
didn't realize she was a girl because they defeminized everybody. That's what it was.
Well, see, some people were saying that she's a trans character, but then I guess Neil said something on Twitter, and so she's not trans. She's just a very masculine-looking woman.
Well, apparently this is the thing, you know, that the video games are feminizing women.
Oh my god, this is hilarious! That was a horror scene.
That was probably the scariest part of the game, B-Gill. But that was.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
You're frozen, but now you're unfrozen. I could hear you. Just quit.
Okay.
I can still hear you usually, even when you freeze. I don't know about the chat, but I can still hear you usually when you freeze. So
I can't hear when I freeze. It looks like you freeze, and I can't hear anything.
Yeah,
like right now.
Oh, I'm frozen again.
No. You're like now. You're not. Now
I'm just gonna dance all the time forever.
Well, what was? Oh, they're saying. Oh yeah, and they made the guy that fucked her looks like Neil.
Oh, maybe that's what he's. Maybe he's just trying to tell everyone that he wants to bang chicks who look like dudes.
Let's see. You know him as Chengiz Kong. Thank you for super chat. Doesn't matter what Abby's motivations / background is. Even when playing her, she's in general a terrible human being. That's what I've heard. I've heard that she's like bad character.
This is what I hear. Like no one wants to play as these garbage characters. But the more I'm hearing about this too, it's just like the whole whatchamacallit, the whole it just stole from like thinking about it now. I'm like, they just stole the basic plot of Halo 2, which is exactly that. I mean, and it was good when they did it then, and it made sense. And I was like, you're not even that creative. He's acting like, oh, it's so innovative, my gameplay and my story and my this. It's like, dude, it's been done before. It's been done before in video games. It's been done before in shoot 'em up games. Like, you're not original. Get over yourself.
See, and I would have never known that because I didn't play Halo because it's a first-person shooter, and I didn't play first-person shooters.
I love first-person
shooters. But I feel like that would be a thing that you would play half, because that's something that they do in KOTOR 2, where I just had to play as my team split up, and so I had to go play as these other characters doing a mission while my space Jesus is over here. And so I wasn't playing as the bad guys per se, but I had to play as these different characters. But I mean, that's not unheard of playing different characters in a video game and switching storylines.
There's nothing innovative about that whatsoever. Antihero69 says, Lev, the trans character, specifically exists to be a punching bag for a transphobic cult. Great trans representation, Neil. And that's the kind of crap you see it with, like, oh, look at me, great gay characters. Oh, and you made a trans character the literal victim the entire time.
I don't know what more I can do. I have every single program closed except for this and one page.
No. I mean, it's just is how it is right now. Maybe there's just a high volume in your area right
like
now.
A robot. I don't know if you can hear me.
I can hear you. You're coming through okay.
God damn it.
Yeah. It's just I don't.
Okay, what?
But what I'm saying is that exact idea of like these two characters that were enemies that were pitted on the opposite sides of each other. You learn about one of the characters, realize he has a sympathetic motivation, and then those two characters eventually come together and find they have and work towards a common goal. And you're like, oh, this makes sense, and it's a good story, and it's well done. And I'm like, that's just what they're trying to do here with this. Hey, we're taking the character from the first game, and then we're introducing an enemy, but even though it's the legacy character, so it's like the child of a good guy from the first game and the child of a bad guy from the next game end up coming together. I'm like, this is not interesting. Like, it's not.
I'm gonna try doing an internet speed test real fast.
Someone says Anna is streaming from 1964.
This is absolutely ridiculous.
I'm trying to see EL roll. I'm like looking awkwardly really close up.
Nothing is loading. I don't know what the fuck is going on.
Yeah. But I'm reading more things. People are telling us more dumb stuff from the game. Movie Box Production, AK. Ellie, wait, she's pregnant. Abby, good. Tries to kill her. Abby sounds like a real winner. She sounds charming. She sounds super likable, just like that new Batwoman they're going to make. And I'm really glad that character description told me that new Batwoman's going to be likable, because after I read the rest of the description, she sounds highly unlikable.
I haven't read any of it. So my MBPS download is 5.2.5, and my MBPS upload is 2.1.5. Is that bad or good?
That's terrible. Wait, you're 5?
It says your internet connection is very fast. I don't get it.
But your download speed is 5, the bits per second thing?
What?
Your download speed is at 5 bits per second or whatever it is?
I can't understand a word you're saying. It's roboting so much.
That sounds really bad.
I might have to jump myself out because I already restarted my computer. Such a problem.
Yeah, because our download speeds go up to like 100. Ours are usually between like the 70-ish range.
Well, I pay the highest tier for internet every single month. I don't know why I'm having.
Do you have AT&T or do you have
I have Spectrum.
You have Spectrum. You should be getting better speeds than that then. Because yes, I have Spectrum and I have a lot. I think I just have a lower. I don't pay the, maximum whatever.
I pay the maximum. I'm like, give me the fastest internet possible. And they're like, well, your router isn't possible or it's not capable of it. And I'm like, so give me a faster router.
Give you a new router then if you're like, I'm going to upgrade.
It did. I paid for everything. Got everything so I could have the highest speed internet possible. I have a direct line plugged in and still it's doing this. I'm not happy about this. Spectrum's going to get a very angry phone call from me. Barney, the Spaceosaurus Woke Rex, thank you for super chat. Heard of Angry Joe being a victim of Me Too. It's probably because he hates The Last of Us 2. I did hear about that. The only videos of I can't watch his videos. I'm sorry. It's not my cup of tea. I've watched videos on him, and I guess he does video game reviews, which, as you guys know, I'm such an active gamer. I saw the Me Too stuff. I saw as Hills versus Babyface was talking about it and how he thinks it's not cool that the person that's trying to Me Too him it's a fucked up situation. I don't know anything about it. Jessi, do you?
I haven't heard anything about it. The last I heard was yesterday Chris D'Elia is getting Me Too'd, and I'm fine with that because I don't really like him. But I have not heard anything about Angry Joe. I just heard about the comedian Chris D'Elia. But
I don't know, but thank you for the super chat. Let's go look at some more of these before I tweak out again. So this is another one. And they all thought I was crazy, The Last of Us Part 2. When you said the game was awful because you saw the leaks, but now they're seeing it's true. They
called me a madman. See, more evidence to support my theory that Thanos is actually an incredibly reasonable character.
Well, see, this one, it says, stop making me play as Abby. I don't care about her little baby flashback braid. Not a bit. I don't care. And I'm just like, oh my God.
this sounds like that everyone's like, this is so toxic and evil and bad. No one's complained. I haven't heard a single person complain about playing with Ellie.
This one is a really long explanation, which I'm probably going to robot out, so I'll ask Jessi to read it for all of you guys. It's spoilers. Do you want to read?
All right. Last of Us 2 spoilers. I don't think that people are necessarily mad about the fact that Joel died, but more so the way he died. It seemed unfulfilling and illogical from a story standpoint. And it was like we hardly saw him in the game. Then as soon as we get some actual substance, not even playing as him, he dies. I think it would have been better if we got more time with him in the story just to make the emotional payoff better. Ellie and Joel had great father-daughter chemistry. So getting back into that, creating a sense of hope, and then hitting us with the scene later in the story could have really helped. We haven't seen this character in 7 years, and then we got maybe less than an hour, correct me if I'm wrong, before he's just gone for good, not including flashbacks. And the fact that most of that entire scene was skipped too, just felt like there was something or a lot missing, and it didn't have as much of an impact as it could have. Imagine if he instead died protecting Ellie, being infected and hiding it as a reference to Ellie hiding her bite, but where she survived, he died. And it would have come full circle from the end of the first game, as he didn't allow them to make a cure. And he could have admitted that to Ellie and had that heart-to-heart before he died. And it also would have been a callback to his brother saying he'd take it to the grave for Joel to then admit it on his deathbed. I don't know. That's just my 2 cents. This game has really great potential, and the atmosphere and graphics were great as usual. But imagine it, the sun setting as the sun sets on Joel's story, Ellie playing Joel's guitar as the credits roll, rather than his final words to a character, rather than his bitter final words to a character we had only just been introduced to. And that's why do creators and fans of this stuff act like it's so unreasonable for fans of their work, of the work they created, to want to see satisfying conclusions for the stories and characters they started?
I know.
Act like it's such a thing. It's this antagonistic relationship between creators and fans, where it's like you went into this going, how can I piss off the majority of my fans? How can I piss it off and frame it as them all being, anti this or anti that or evil man babies and whatnot? It's just like, it's like you made a pointed effort to do this shit to piss people off. I don't understand it.
Well, and then also them blaming fans for its backlash. And I'm like, the fans didn't make the fucking game. The fans didn't write the game. They are responding. It's like if your mom cooked you dinner. Oh my God, how terrible. Mom cooks her children dinner. Your mom cooked dinner, and instead of using salt, she used sugar. Right? Are you going to get mad at the kids for saying, Mom, this tastes funny?
Right?
No.
Exactly. It's ridiculous. We are the consumers. We are entitled to our opinions. Again, I'm with you. I'm not gonna tear apart stuff. I'm not gonna, if I make a video, I'm not gonna get too into like the gameplay in this, because I haven't played it. I can only respond to what I'm hearing. But someone else is saying too, apparently this was a change Neil made, and originally the original ending, Ellie was going to kill Abby, but then he changed it to Abby's right. That would have made more sense. That would have made much more sense already, even from what I know about this. I'm like, I'm getting riled up about
this
the
is
game I've never
ridiculous.
played. You're getting a lot of the beat, booby? Anyway, I'm getting riled over this game I've never even played, because I'm already just following along. I'm like already getting invested in this idea. I had a friend who really liked this game back in the day, and I should talk to him to see if he's playing the new one and wants to talk about that, because I really love it. And he talked to me about it and the zombie element specifically, and how it's the fungal infected zombies, and it was sounded really interesting and really cool. And I'm like, oh, it sounds like a great game. And so I knew about it from that. I didn't know much of the gameplay or the story. I'm learning more about it. I'm like, this is a really compelling story and gameplay. And again, it's just me talking through it and reading that one person's spoiler review. It's like there were so many little things they could have done to just, to just make it feel better and make it just, you can still do everything you wanted to do. You can kill Joel. You can make Abby, the next, part of the gameplay and all that stuff. You can make Abby and Ellie gay for each other. I don't even care. Right. But it's just, why not have it all? Why not do all those things and still handle the legacy of your original character respectfully? There's no reason not to. That's all. It's crazy. It's just
lazy. It doesn't make any sense. It's not logical from a business standpoint, even though the game is making money, because people have been waiting for this for 7 years. And then people, they buy it, and, then they play it, and then they find out all the people that were avoiding spoilers.
Yep.
Let me read this real fast. Black Phoenix, thank you for Super Chat. Just wanted to show some love while I was working. Well, thank you. We appreciate it. Reality check numero uno. Thank you, Subject. Here to show some love to Anna and Jessi. Hashtag hail the matriarchy. Hashtag support the fandom menace. Hashtag fuck Naughty Dog.
Jesus. And that's the one thing. Crap, I just lost what I was gonna say. It's like something to say. Oh, it's like Jeff always tells me about Tales from the Hood and then Tales from the Hood 2. Like the first one is this super cool, like great commentary on race relations, and it's just a good film and riveting and all that stuff. And then he came back years and years later and made Tales from the Hood 2, and it's just a bunch of woke trash. And it's like, what are you thinking? Are these people just trying to tap into the zeitgeist? Do these people have all this craziness in them all along, and they're just like, yes, now I can expose it to the world because it's acceptable? You're like, I just wonder what these people are thinking when they do stuff like this. Like, you had a good game, you had a good story, all of it's there, and what the hell?
Yeah. As the game has a huge data count, a ridiculous piece of hard drive. That is a thing, too. It's like, if you have to get like a separate hard drive just to play a game. God.
Yeah.
I thought it was good for a second there.
For just a second. For most of your comment. Most of your sentence.
Ah, lovely. All right, let me pull this up before it happens again. So, do you remember this one, the Diablo 2? Or the Diablo 2.5?
Oh, I don't.
What, you guys don't have phones? Do you remember that, Jess?
A vague
Anna
one.
Frozen, Anna Frozen, Anna Frozen.
Saying that gamers are hating on The Last of Us Part 2.
God damn it.
You're all right. You're back-ish, but you're still robotic. You want me to read this one? Can you hear me? I'm gonna go read this because I can't hear Anna at all. Saying that gamers are hating on The Last of Us Part 2 because the main character is a lesbian is like saying that Trekkies hate the new Star Trek movie because the effects are too fancy. If you add lesbians into a popular game and gamers still hate it, then you fucked up harder than this guy. Like,
this is the guy from like Diablo 2.5.
Oh God. Because that's exactly right, though. That's the whole point. It's like, also, especially, think of your audience. Think about video gamers. Your stereotypical video gamer, the stereotypical one that they're saying are these man babies who hate this and hate that. If you're like, okay, we're taking this amazing game that you love, and we're putting in lesbians who are going to have lesbian sex with each other, the average gamer is like, yes, you read my mind, dream come true. Everything I've ever wanted. How did you know? You read my secret Christmas list. They're not coming out being like, ew, I hate lesbians. This is like every like stereotypical nerd boy fantasy.
Yeah, usually guys don't complain if there's a lesbian sex scene. Just saying.
If your typical, video game users are complaining about lesbian sex in your video game, you did something so wrong.
Yeah.
So wrong. God. That was like the number one type of person. If you were going to ask me, of all the types of friends you have, which type is the one who's going to go on about your girls kissing? Which is the type who's going to go, hey, do you two want to make out and all that? It's the gamers. That's like the number one demographic of the people I know who are so gung-ho for like, girls making out. It's like that and frat boys. I mean, come on.
And usually frat boys are ones that are going to be playing video games.
Also, we're going to play a video game like this, a mainstream popular, hack and slash video game. Exactly.
Yep. And I don't think I have never met a guy that's going to complain because, oh my God, how terrible. There's a lesbian sex scene. Like, unless the women both look like Jabba the Hutt, I don't think they're going to complain.
Right. Exactly. Well, apparently that's part of the problem. This is something Jeff and I were talking about earlier, is America is now trying to do this thing where they're like, let's, the world has different beauty standards. Let's be the trendsetter for the next beauty standard for women. And that beauty standard is, let's make men look like dudes. Guess who wants that? Nobody.
You mean women look like dudes and men look like women.
Exactly. And the thing is, nobody wants that. Even most lesbians don't want that. Like, lesbians, a lot of those types of women like femme lesbians. Femme lesbians are a thing. Lipstick lesbians. It is a thing. Like, even gay women like pretty women. Straight men like pretty women. Women like to be pretty. We have tits. Why are you taking them away from us? We have curves. Why are you taking them away from us? We have unique bodies that are special. Why are you taking the things that make us special and uniquely feminine away from us? How
Jess,
is that?
I'm going to have to unplug my internet real fast and then plug it back in because sometimes that helps. So I'm probably going to go, it'll probably dip.
Okay. That's fine. I'll hold down the fort while you're dealing with that. If I can take a moment and say, since we lost, I'll talk a little bit about one of the things I really want to talk about too today was the loss of two wonderful men in filmmaking, Joel Schumacher and actually, you know what? This is a great point to dovetail. We're talking about The Last of Us 2, talking about Joel Schumacher a little bit. One of the things people don't talk about his legacy is his homosexuality. Some people do, some people don't. Some people bitch about it, some people don't. But one of the things you can look at with Joel Schumacher, right? Take a look at a Batman Forever movie, right? You can look at Batman and Robin. We're not going to touch Batman and Robin because everyone knows it's trash. It is the black mark on an otherwise great legacy that includes excellent films like Batman Forever, and I will fight you to the grave if you say Batman Forever sucks because it is awesome. The Lost Boys, St. Elmo's Fire. He has a bunch of other movies that weren't necessarily these huge hits and whatnot that are still solid movies, great cast. We were actually even looking through, and a couple we hadn't really heard of or had never seen. Jeff and I were reading the description, like, we want to watch this. Even some of the movies after Batman and Robin, he still bounced back and had a good career. So yes, we did lose Joel Schumacher and Sir Ian Holm. So one thing I'll ask you guys, they both died earlier this week. I think it was like one day after the other. I think it was Ian Holm might have been Sunday and Joel Schumacher was Monday, I think is how it went. Yes, Johnny Twilly, yes, Forever is that's my number one, but yes, Forever is great. So if you guys want, while you're in the chat here, if you would like to just drop your favorite Batman Forever moments, your least favorite Batman and Robin moments, your favorite Lost Boys moments, your favorite Sir Ian Holm moments. So anything for these two wonderful men that we lost. Obviously, there's not much controversial in Ian Holm's legacy. He seems like a wonderful dude, classic British actor who brought things to life from the alien Ash and Alien to Bilbo Baggins in the Lord of the Rings live action, and it was. He was an incredible man, incredible actor, and I don't know too much about his personal life and whatnot. Never heard a bad thing about him. He always seemed like the kind of guy that I'd want to give a hug to, especially as this cute little old man. Yeah, so R.I.P. Ian Holm. That one actually, like when Jeff told me that, I was like, oh God, Bilbo's coming. So bye to them. So the thing I want to talk about Joel Schumacher, people sometimes talk about like, oh, well, you can see this, he was very closeted about it and whatnot, but you can see this like male, this sexual, homoerotic gaze in Batman Forever. And if you look at it though, it's like, to me, it's the best way to do it. As a female filmmaker, if I made a movie with guys, I'm going to objectify my men. So as a gay male filmmaker, you're going to objectify your men. And to me, that some extra, some extra moments like a crotch shot, a butt shot of this and that. Oh, she's back. The bat nipple, we all agree, is like a, but I took a moment on Joel Schumacher and Batman because I thought it was nicely relational where we talked about, all the missteps in trying to make these lesbian characters in The Last of Us 2. If you go back to something like Batman Forever, Joel Schumacher puts his personal gay spin on stuff. He does not use it to make Batman gay. There's no homoerotic undertones with Batman and Robin's relationship. You still have Robin chasing tail out in the alley, and you still have a Batman with his Cole Kidman girlfriend.
One thing that I don't think people understand is that when you have a man if you actually spend time with gay men, obviously gay women are different because they're attracted to women, not men. But if you're talking about a gay man, gay men and women get along great because guess what? We have the same fucking interests, and we usually are into the same type of dudes, unless usually some gay men are into like the feminine type of guys, which is completely fine. But my best friend Marcus, when we go watch a movie, we're going like, oh damn, Henry Cavill looks fucking hot.
Those are the best gay friends are the really flamboyant ones who are like more femme because they like the masculine dudes. So you got to sit down with them and just, oh God, that's insane.
Go watch Aquaman. It doesn't matter that he's going to end up with the bitch Amber Heard because that's the girl that he's interested in the movie. Me, I'm a woman. I know he's not sitting there looking at me. I'm like, I don't care who that guy's looking at. Jason Momoa looks fine as fuck. Leave his shirt off. My best friend Marcus can watch a movie go, holy fuck, Jason Momoa is hot as fuck.
And so I think it's nice. So in Batman Forever, you get this beautiful objectification of Batman and Robin, as this male, this sexual gaze on them from the viewer standpoint, which as a female, as a woman watching, I love. As a guy watching it, you're just not going to care about. But there's nothing, it's the same thing.
In Batman Forever, they get Nicole Kidman trying to, get it on with Batman. She uses the fucking bat signal to get Batman onto the roof so she can, feel him up in her lingerie. The guy's got something too in the movie.
God, yeah. Oh, God, yeah. So it's like it's none of the, and I think that's a great thing. It's like that interest in the men. It's like, great, here's the sexy men, but it's not, doesn't affect the story. He didn't feel this need to make Batman gayer or something like that. They just objectify him, which I love because hey, Val Kilmer looks great. So
I'm just saying, people in Hollywood are movie stars a majority of the time because they're very nice to look at.
Oh yeah.
And I don't mind if I'm paying to go see this movie or I'm buying a movie, and it's specifically because I don't care if the movie's shit, but I just want. I went into Aquaman because I wanted to look at Jason Momoa. I like superhero movies, but I knew that movie was not going to be good.
Dude, I'm finally, so when the Fast and Furious movies came out, it was one of those movies like I'd always wanted to see it, but I just didn't get around to it when the first one came out, and then there was the second one and the third one and this and that. It's like, I know Paul Walker's was really good. Now I'm kicking myself because we're going back and finally getting through and watching them. I just never got around to it because they kept making more and I never caught up. But we're going back and watch them like, damn, I would have loved this when I was young because I love that kind of movie anyway. I'm like, I'd have been all over Paul Walker at that age. God damn.
I hate those movies. I watched one and I hated it. Let me read this real fast and then I think I'll be caught up for a minute. Maddie, thank you for the super chat. Anna Banana. Oh, thank you. Hey. Play Jedi Fallen Order. I promise you it's a good story with good character development. Gameplay is great too. So I was going to buy it because it was half off. And I didn't because I said after KOTOR I was going to play Jedi Academy and Jedi Academy 2. And so I think by the time I'm done with those, then that one will be even more on sale. So I was told to wait, but it is on my list. I will eventually play it. I saw Drunk 3PO is playing it right now if you want to watch somebody play it.
Oh, cool.
Let's get that off there. All right. Oh, yeah, and he did the Lost. I did this post. I don't know if you saw my tweet the other day, Jessi. Let me see if I still have it up. I think the problem was I unplugged it and plugged it in, and I think it's also overheating. That's why I opened up my window. So, and I put the fan in front of, because it's actually nice. It's a nice day outside, so it's like freezing cold air. So I haven't alienated it out or roboted out yet. So that's
good. You should see if your listeners get one of your listeners to send you a like one of those, or get them to pitch in for one of those like portable AC units that you can just plug in your garage.
Yeah, in my garage when I'm working. But I mean, this is I have one of those in the garage, because that's what Peaches uses. Because when him and his dad were doing all of the all of the like the tile cutting and everything, and
if you had anything in there, yeah. But yeah, if your office,
where I'm at, it's because I know you still haven't been to my house yet.
Yeah.
It's like
I just know your last one was in your garage. I don't even know where your new office is. That's true.
Well, it was in like the converted garage, but this one, it's like a room attached to the back of the house in the sunroom, so it's not insulated.
Yeah, yes, you can get a portable. See if you can get like a portable AC thing. They make those. They're cooling it, so they're better than fans, because they're natural cooling unit. It's going to use up a little bit of electricity and stuff, but someone else, Attachi-san also says get a better CPU cooler and case fans. That's another thing you can do if you're comfortable. You can always get cooling units for your for the computer.
Let me find this tweet. It was a few days ago when he passed, but somebody said that he made the worst movies, and I was like, so you think A Time to Kill is a terrible movie? You think The Client is a terrible movie? Have you ever watched? I always recommend A Time to Kill to people, and I'm like, all of these SJW woke psycho people that are like, we never had this in a movie. I'm like, go watch A Time to Kill. Go watch that fucking movie. That is one of the best movies I have ever seen. It's very dramatic, but the script, that like put Matthew McConaughey on the fucking map. Like,
I still haven't seen it. I really want to now. But that's one of the things. I will. Don't look at me like that.
Do you know what it's about?
What?
Do you know what it's about?
I don't actually.
A Time to Kill.
You shouldn't tell me.
No, it's not bad. I'll just tell you. So it's got Samuel L. Jackson, Matthew McConaughey, Donald and Kiefer Sutherland, Sandra Bullock.
I'm already in. You don't even have to tell me anymore. I'm already on board.
Well, it's basically Matthew McConaughey is a lawyer in the South, and Samuel L. Jackson's daughter.
I do know about this movie. Yes, I do know about this movie. It's
a fantastic movie. The person that says it's bad, get off my damn stream. If you think that movie is bad, what do you think is good?
Beats the hell out of me.
It's very dramatic. Like, I can't watch it without crying.
I definitely want to watch it. That's the thing. If people want to shit on Joel Schumacher's legacy, point out to me another, objective failure of his other than Batman and Robin, which, by the way, he apologized for, which is very big of him.
He does apologize for that movie.
It's a great clip. His apology straight. He's like, to those of you who love Batman Forever and wanted to, and were disappointed by Batman and Robin, I am sorry. Like, acknowledges, look, I did not follow up the way that it should have been followed up. And like, to me, that right there erases the black spot that Batman and Robin puts on his legacy, because he can look at it and acknowledge that, look, I made a bad movie, but then to come back as the whatchamacallit, the one you just mentioned, A Time to Kill, that came after Batman and Robin, right?
I don't think so.
That was before?
Let me go look. What year did Batman and Robin come out?
But there were some things. Batman and Robin was 97.
I think it was 93. Oh, no, 96. So Time to Kill came out right before Batman and Robin.
Just before Batman and Robin. So this is right in the middle of this. He's clearly not losing a step. He's in the midst of Batman and Robin. He's also making this other great movie. He made a bunch of, films after that. And I mean, look, he wrote, someone else pointed out earlier too, he wrote the script for The Wiz, which is a great movie if you've ever seen it. If you're not a fan of musicals or The Wizard of Oz, you probably won't like it. But if you are a fan of either of those things and or Michael Jackson, you'll love it. It's Michael Jackson's The Scarecrow. Diana Ross's is Dorothy. It's the Black Wizard of Oz, and it's great. It's actually a really fun spin on it. But then, I mean, and again, The Lost Boys. Like,
yeah, but somebody said, oh, he made the worst movies ever. And I was like, You think A Time to Kill, The Client. I don't know if you've seen that one. That one's fantastic.
I have heard really good things about that one too. I know. Hey, look, don't give me that look. I'll start pulling out movies you haven't seen.
I know. Well, I like those type of like dramatic, like heavy dialogue based, but like
have you seen a lot of the ones from the 70s, like The Conversation and like all the Gene Hackman stuff from the 70s and stuff like that, and a lot of those like Serpico and all the like crimey ones they were doing, like Al Pacino and Gene Hackman was doing like what's that movie, The French Connection and stuff like that.
I think I have seen that. The thing is with me, it was like very limited to what my mother wanted to watch and what she would buy and stuff. But it's like 12 Angry Men, I think, is one of the best movies. You would love.
You got to go back and watch The Conversations. Gene Hackman, and was that Harrison Ford's first role? It was one of his really early ones.
What movie is this?
The Conversation.
That's what it's called?
Yes. It's from the 70s. And it's one of those things.
Oh, I recognize the movie cover.
Yeah, it was a really popular one, but at the time. But it's great because
hey, that's Lex Luthor. I've seen this movie.
Oh, have you? Because Harrison Ford.
I'm blanking on it. I'd have to like see a scene, but I've seen this movie.
The basic premise is somebody overhears something in a conversation, has to figure out what to do with it. Oh yeah, Harrison Ford does. American Graffiti was his first one, but The Conversation was a big step for him because it was a small role that he had in it, and he was supposed to. It was supposed to be very small, but he just brought something to that character, and they ended up making him a much more integral part of the plot just because of what he brought to the script. I love that movie for Harrison Ford. But go back and rewatch them, and that's definitely like if 12 Angry Men is like the height of cinema for you, Conversation is going to be right up there.
Let me read the super chat. Barney, the Spaceosaurus, Woke Rex. Thank you for super chat. Viewers, do yourself a favor and play Ghost of Tsunami instead of The Last of Us 2. Have a nice day. Well, everyone go check that out.
Ghost of Tsushima, I think it was.
Oh, sorry.
Tsushima. Also, Woke Rex is his actual name. So you gotta read on the Rex because he's woke.
Gotcha. Jeffrey Turner, aka Mega Jetty 1. Thank you for super chat. $5 for Anna and Jessi, the Dynamite Duo. I now have a new Karate Kid and Cobra Kai lore account called Crane Kick. Debuted on Karate Kid 36th anniversary, June 22nd. God damn it, you're roboting out. Jessi?
You're roboting again.
Well, thank you for that, and congratulations. You seem like you're up to a lot of stuff.
Yeah, because he's got his Terminator lore account too, and now he's got Karate Kid. That's really neat. So if you're really into these specific, nerddoms, if that's your thing, check out Mega Jetty. He goes in real depth, and when he puts a channel that's like this, then yes. Apparently I froze too that time. So hooray!
Sheen Nichols, thank you for that. The Last of Us 2 is a crap story with poorly thought out characters. Lazy inclusion is lazy. Bilbus Bagginson, 1984.
Thank you, Billibus Bagginson. Exactly that, and that's the point that I think all of us have been making about identity politics from the time it started happening. None of us have a problem with diversity and inclusion. No. None of us have a problem with gay characters, black characters, trans characters, any of these kinds of characters. What we have a problem with is inserting these characters at the sake of story. Is acting like diversifying your character, on characters on the front of things, on the surface level, somehow adds depth, virtue, and meaning to what you're making. It doesn't. One of my favorite quotes on that topic it's a conservative writer who did it. He did a piece. It was it was politically steeped and whatnot, but his conclusion said it better than anyone else ever, where basically your identity is not a supplement to or a substitute for virtue. And that's exactly right. Nothing about your identity takes the place of being a decent person, takes the place of having a good moral compass, takes the place of being substantial. If you show up in a group, whatever, and you sit down, you all have to contribute something to a group project. I'm black is not your contribution. I'm female is not your contribution. I'm gay. I'm here being gay is not your contribution. You have to show up and do whatever.
So well, yeah, it's like when you have like a science project and like in physics class and you guys all have to like build something with and show the difference between kinetic energy and what is it, potential energy? Was that the other one? Yeah. Going all the way back to when I was in physics. And it's like you have to shoot the ball from the thing and you have to explain the different type of energy uses. So you're in a group, you get randomly picked. You are assigned to these people. You didn't get to pick your group. Okay, yeah, exactly. You being gay does not have anything to do with how you work with other people in a group project.
Exactly. You show up at my house and I'm like, okay,
Hispanic, or you being if you being blonde hair with blue eyes.
All right. Yeah, you show up at my fucking house to do our group project. You were supposed to bring your research. And you're like, well, I brought myself and I'm gay, so that's fine. I'm telling the fucking teacher, you didn't do your job and you're getting an F. Because I ain't doing that. I'm like, I don't care. I don't care how my life is hard because I'm, Mexican. Great. You're in school and you're part of my project and this influences my grade too. So screw you. I'm throwing you into the goddamn bus. I don't care what you are because bringing your race to the table does not contribute to my project or anything.
What does hand you?
He handed me Otter Pops.
Oh, I love those.
Yeah, come on over. We do. It's true.
I was just there.
We bought it after you left, unfortunately. Also, you need to come back because we did finally get everything mostly cleaned up. It looks incredible. You wouldn't recognize it from last time. It looks so much better. So you need to come back and see clearly that we are not terrible people living in filth.
All right, let's go read it because I was retweeting them because I'm like, oh shit, what the fuck is going on? And then I figured this would be a fun thing for us to cover because this has been I feel like this topic is going to be here at this, and then because of how terrible this game is, the next game that comes out, it's going to become a meme. And after a few weeks, it's not going to be relevant anymore because they didn't make a game that's going to stand the test of time like KOTOR, where it's like 20 years later and I'm still playing, or I just started playing it and it still holds up to today's games. So I wanted to touch on all of this. So this is I retweeted this. If you go on my timeline, you can still see all of this. The Last of Us Part 2, the actual bad reviews have in common. Amazing graphics, amazing acting, amazing music. Story is absolute shit. The Last of Us 2 is a story-oriented game. It doesn't matter how good the game looks or how good the actors are. If the game story sucks, all efforts are null. And so this is, do you want to read this one for me, Jessi?
Sure thing. It breaks my heart to write this, but I really did not expect such a poor story after all these years of waiting. While there were a few genuinely good moments, majority of the game filled up with plot holes. It just took elements of what worked for the first game without understanding what made them compelling. It seemed like this game was done by another studio, but it is not. The basic gameplay has stayed the same, for better or worse. Environment puzzles are almost gone. So remove story from the table and you're left with shallow gameplay that will have you looking for some other game. And this is from someone who's clearly a huge fan of the first one and was looking forwards to the second one.
And this is the next one.
All right. She says incredible visuals and music can't make up for a complete lack of skill in writing. The story is unbelievable, full of plot holes, often depraved in failed attempts at adding shock factor, and spits on the legacy of the original. A painful game to experience. It is further insult to injury that Naughty Dog used false advertising to sell the game to the fans of the first.
And that's the whole thing with Joel, correct?
Exactly. Yes. It's spinning it like you're following Joel's story, only to butcher him in the first few moments.
Now, I don't know who this character is.
I don't either, but I'm sure someone...
Does anyone in the chat know who this character is? But I will still read this. One of these was written as a tough badass with a heart of gold, and he died far too soon. Yet, even then, what he left behind guided a strong girl forward. The same applies to the other, only in the sequel, the writer punks him out and turns the girl into a villain. # The Last of Us Part 2.
That's exactly right. It's exactly what we talked about. It's like
Walking Dead. Okay, so it's Telegate. I didn't get that far.
Telltale from Walking Dead.
Oh,
I don't know.
Telltale.
Yeah. Telltale games. Yeah. Cool. So clearly someone did it right. That's what I think. It sounds to me like outside of the TV show that's been on for way too long, Walking Dead does a nice job with story and continuity. Characters and passing legacies, etc. I've heard that the show, any TV show that's on too long is going to suffer. But
let me address this. Who cares? Don't buy it. I know we're covering news. That's what this is. You might not care about it, but we're going to talk about it. I can wholeheartedly say me and Jessi have no intention of ever buying this game.
Oh no,
but we're talking about it going on because this is right now. This is going on, so we're going to talk about it. The Last of Us Part 2 is like a really beautiful person with absolutely no substance and a shit personality. Such a shame. #
So what you're saying is The Last of Us 2 is like Amber Heard.
And that was a girl. That was a girl that wrote that. I don't know if they're trying to appeal to women, but let's see.
Basically, Last of Us 2 is Amber Heard. It's pretty, but it sucks.
Just got done playing The Last of Us Part 2. They really fucking ruined my favorite game of all time. Aww. This
is someone who sat down and played the game start to finish. This is not some troll. This is not some angry, internet man baby. This is a person who sat down for 20 to 30 hours, played through the game from beginning to end, and is let down. Which sucks. This is the Last Jedi of the video game world.
I've actually seen that comparison. Okay. Do you want to read this one?
And Anthony Jeff made that comparison in one of his thumbnails. This is an example of how to make a good ending for a good character, a good death. Not that senseless, stupid Joel death. Imagine if Joel's death had been like Arthur's. You as a player know that he's infected and somehow you are preparing for the inevitable. God, yes. Why take that? Why take that? That's, it's a little cliched, but it works. One of the reasons why it works is that zombie trope of somebody being bitten, having to hide it, and then dying for their loved ones or having their loved one have to. Because for me, that is such a compelling character. No matter how many times you see it, it is a compelling character development moment for the person who either has to let them go or kill them when they find out someone close to them is infected and can't be saved. And again, what a compelling way to turn it on its head, where Ellie got bitten, hit it, but it turns out she's immune, to then have, to frame that. As that one user pointed out, reframe that so you have the same thing, but now Joel's bitten, but he doesn't survive, and have that brings the story to a natural conclusion. It frames it from the beginning to the end. It's satisfying, all of these things, and it's not fucking hard to do.
Let me see. That Star Wars girl. I follow Liana K, who did a review of The Last of Us 2 and how men mansplained to her about why it was good and she should like it. Whoa.
Oh God.
We should look at I'll look into that. I don't know who that is.
Now I'm curious though.
I know now I want to look it up. I don't follow a lot of video game channels because, as you guys know, I'm not exactly the most avid gamer in the world. Is this girl on YouTube or Twitch? Because I'll look her up on YouTube right now. Liana K. So she's got a channel on here. Oh, she's got a picture of a cat.
Yeah.
Interesting. I'll have that. I have that pulled up.
I don't know if you. What was my thing? I do have a. When we ever do get to talking about it, I do have a small Raylo contribution for today.
Oh, great!
You'll like it. It's not a visual one. It's a happy one. It's something.
It's a happy one. Well, so this is a little video that I saw. Let me actually stop doing this and let me share audio. I hate that. I like it better like this so people can see our faces showed up. Here we go. We have faces. Is this it? I hate that it doesn't show me what page it is, but oh no, hey, yeah, there it goes. There it goes. Okay. Sharing audio. So we're gonna watch this little clip of what this guy is saying.
Like to go out and like defending Ellie in like a gunfight or something. Not saving the person who literally beat his skull in. And then dying in front of Ellie, and he sees Ellie in front of her. I get it. It's like, whoa, like, we're going to be one-of-a-kind devs here, guys. Let's do something absolutely fucking retarded real quick. Guys, get this. It's going to be so edgy. We'll have two girls having sex and smoking weed, and then right after, let's kill Joel. Ship it. Let's go, boys. Like to go out and, like, defending Ellie in, like, a gunfight or something.
That was it. Obviously, he played that. Tyler 1, is that who that is? I don't know who that person is, but I saw that clip and I was like, oh my.
Yeah, that's someone's. But this really sounds like the way they treated Joel is exactly how they treated Luke's legacy in Last Jedi. See this character people love. People waited 7 years to find out the continuation of Joel's story, only to have him, beaten to death by Ellie by Abby after she goes and bangs someone.
I like this with the Toby meme. The Last of Us Part 2 is just like Game of Thrones Season 8. The acting is great and the sets are amazing, but the plot doesn't make any sense and disrespect what the predecessor built.
Yep.
Damn. I have seen that. I've seen it compared to The Last Jedi. I've seen it compared to Game of Thrones. And don't insult Henry Cavill, but I see what they did there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Looking at this, I do not think that this is it.
Sorry, that's a boy.
As a woman, I don't see. I think it's a younger boy. Like
he looks like
he's 15.
Yeah, he looks like a
15-year-old boy. Maybe he plays football or he's in wrestling. He doesn't have his stubble yet.
But look at the arms. I mean, look how bulky her shoulders are. How bulky her biceps are. I mean, like I have. Even so, they're a little, crap now, but like my arms have always, even when they're not like super, in shape, have always been on the bulkier side. But you can see the clear difference.
See, I'm kind of bulky.
I'm definitely I can't even look. My bicep gets in the way of me, and don't look at my wiggly triceps right now. My bicep gets in the way of me, bending my arm all the way. That's how bulky my arms are. I'm definitely not broad of shoulder. That's for sure. But like I don't look like her. I don't look like freaking arms out to here, like what? And if you have that much weight on your arms and your shoulders, I'm sorry, but you ain't gonna be flat chested. That's not if I was that broad up here, right? Women end up biologically designed to be broad up here to hold up their massive tits. So unless there's something where like in the fucking apocalypse she takes the time to bind her chest every morning, I ain't buying it.
Well, I had this one friend that she did gymnastics, and this is another thing. If you're a little girl and you do gymnastics, it kind of stops your development of your breastises. And boys, it also like will prevent you from getting taller. That's why a lot of male gymnasts are on the shorter range. They're still tall to me, but to other people, they're
to regular people.
Well, I think gymnasts are tall, and people are like, "You're fucking short then." But so
I remember. Sorry, you got me off on gymnasts. I still remember Alexei Naimov. I don't even remember which Olympics it was. Mm-hmm. Alexei Naimov was this Russian gymnast from Russia, obviously because he's Russian, and he was so effing fine. And I remember watching the Summer Olympics at that whatever year he was, a bit one of the big deals for the Russian team, and just like drooling over him. I fully admit there was a summer of my life where I watched the Olympics to ogle an athlete. No shame.
Let's read this. Waited like forever to play the game. ... The game that I thought will be a complete masterpiece. It's a 10 out of 10 game from every aspect, and then they somehow managed to fuck up the most important part in the Last of Us game, the story. Next level bullshit, cause in the pick. And then Abby.
Which is like, I mean, oh God, that to me, it sounds to me like if you're gonna kill off Joel, there were all these ways to do it and to make, you know, Ellie a relevant and important part of that would have been so cathartic and satisfying for people that even if people had that moment of like, I can't believe they killed Joel, they're now going to be like, oh, I got to get into this game. And that to me is also going to be definitely a motivating factor of like, I got to play as Ellie now to get revenge against Abby for doing this. So to go this whole goddamn game and have her not even do that at the end, it's like, what the hell is the point? Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how they reconcile or how they, come to the same terms or realize they're on the same side or any of that nonsense. The reality stands that Ellie's father figure killed Abby's father, and Abby killed Ellie's father figure. You don't just, it's like the Raylo bullshit. You don't just go around killing each other's parents and everything's fucking okay. Now we're going to be friends. Now we're going to be lovers. That shit don't fly. I mean, it's the apocalypse. Maybe you bang a couple times.
Well, it doesn't even make sense. Like, how did Ellie find out that Abby, obviously she finds out that Joel died, but it's like, how would Abby even know that Joel was the one that killed her father? How would she know that her father was operating? I mean, I'm sure that these are in I like this. Yeah, you guys have phones, right? Yeah, so that was kind of in reference. I showed this, and that's why somebody compared him to like this guy, where it's like, oh yeah, we're doing a Diablo 2.5, and by the way, it's going to be mobile only. And they're like, is this an April Fool's joke? And they're like, yeah, don't you guys have phones? And it's like, that's not the point. Yes, we all have phones, but we want a PC game. We don't want to sit here playing it on our phone. It's so dumb.
Which is dumb because like just release an app version of it, you know, or don't sit there and be like Diablo 2.5. Be like, no, this is Diablo 2, the mobile version, you know. These things are so easy to do if you don't treat your audience like they're your enemies.
Yes. So this is another clip I thought was funny. Let me get it all up.
Yo, remember when everyone kept saying like, "Oh, the leaks aren't real. Oh, the leaks aren't real about Last of Us 2." Then what is this? What is this, bro? What is this? Like, I'm literally watching a Belize video and he can confirm this shit, bro. The leaks are real. As her with a golf club about to kill Joel, bro. No, the leaks are real. The leaks are real. Everything about the leaks is real. I swear to God. And I don't let these reviewers fool you. Don't let the reviewers fool you. Everything they revealed about the leaks and everything that everyone was getting mad about is completely true. Swear to God. Yo, remember when
these are all different accounts, and they're all saying the same thing. That's why I'm like, okay, what Metacritic is censoring if there's any kind of negative reviews or critical reviews. You know, Twitter sucks a majority of the time. Twitter is a cesspool of crazy, but at least it's like you can go see these are real people. There's all, and it's not, yes, Twitter does censor you, but if I can go through and I can just look up the Last of Us 2 hashtag and see all of these people like saying, holy fucking shit, this shit sucks. Yeah. And they're real accounts. That honestly is more valid to me than an account that is on some, like a Rotten Tomatoes. Oh, they've never reviewed a movie before, but they gave The Last Jedi 10 out of 10 or 5 out of 5.
Right. So, that's like what Abraham Lincoln can give the Captain Marvel a 10 out of 10 before it even came out. But we can't allow any negative reviews of any of these movies.
Do you want to read these ones?
Absolutely. Finish The Last of Us Part 2, and what a waste of time. Loving the visual, the graphics, the soundtrack, the gameplay, almost everything, but the story and its pacing are really, really bad. I'm a huge, huge fan of the first one, and I still love it to this day, but holy shit. Most of the parts of the games are forgettable. The story drags on and on. It got too boring, and honestly, boring. Some major characters' deaths are handled as cheap shock value, whatever the term is called, and stupid. Honestly, I really wanted to love this game, but the story is just badly written, and the third act pissed me off a lot. Aside from the story, I love almost everything, and the infected designs are awesome, and they do freak me out more than they did in the first game. The game shouldn't be this long, to be honest. To be honest with you, with some or many part of the level designs can get a little boring but can be forgiving. In summary, good, amazing visual and graphics, gameplay mechanic is well done, great soundtrack, great creature designs, and both human and infected enemies are handled. The bads, badly written story, boring and bad pacing, 6 out of 10.
Well, see, that honestly seemed like, you know, that was a very fair review in my opinion, but
totally fair.
I wouldn't get maybe they did enjoy it a little bit more from the gameplay and like the look of it, and that's why they gave it out of 6 out of 10. But and that all depends on subjectivity. On are you okay if the story's shit but you just enjoy playing the game, or are you one of those people like if the story is shit it ruins the game for you?
Exactly. And that's one of the things, it sounds to me, a lot of users are more in the latter camp because the first one was so rooted in the story. The story was so compelling. People were attached to the characters. That was my, me with like playing Halo, it was when I first played that game. I loved the gameplay. I loved the weapons. I loved all of that stuff. But the story is what hooked me. And there are plenty of other games, since Halo that played very similarly. That are just as fun, but the thing that to me set Halo apart in my enjoyment was how compelling that story was, how well done that story was. And if the story dropped, if the story wasn't that good, I probably wouldn't like it that much. If the story had dropped off between 1 and 2, I probably wouldn't have liked it that much. So that's
I know I don't know anything about Halo. Let me read this real fast. Gary Hellhound. Excuse me, I'm getting hiccups. Imagine if John Wick let the Russian gangsters go after spending most of the film killing their people after they killed his puppy.
That's what it sounds like. It sounds like this game is exactly that. It's John Wick did all this crap, and at the end he was like, I guess I'll let you live. Like, cool, that makes no sense. This entire, this whole game is motivated on revenge. And neither character, because it's two ways, right? It's Abby Abby gets her revenge, I guess, by killing Joel. But then it's Ellie wanting this revenge this entire time, and the whole game is based on trying to get that. And at the end of the day, nope, you don't get any of that. You're just, I don't know. They fall in love probably.
Shit out of luck. Black Phoenix, thank you for super chat. Anna, I have bigger pecs than her small blessings. I honestly thought it was trans. I was shocked to find out it was a woman with super strength. Yeah,
everyone does she get steroids injected?
Trans character.
Is she doing? That's what I'm gonna. That's my take on The Last of Us 2 is gonna be like, can we talk about Abby's definitive steroid problem? Because that's the only way.
I would be fine with that if it showed like a character moment where she's injecting herself with roids and they're like, why are you doing that? And she's like, it's not important for me to be feminine. It's important for me to be strong so I can survive. And that's part of her character, is that she's willing to sacrifice femininity and vanity for strength because she wants that, and she's like, I need to survive, I can be pretty later or something.
That to me, that would be a really compelling character. If it's like, I cut my hair short because it'll get caught if it's longer. I took steroids so that I can be buffer. I chopped off my tits because they get in the way when I'm shooting certain guns. Now you have a really interesting character, and you've justified why she looks that way, and now she's fascinating. And then you could also write it with it. Now you bring out that okay, she's a lesbian, and so maybe when she's with women, there's this tender side comes out of her, that feminine side, that desire to just be a girl that's fighting against this broken post-apocalyptic world. And you can show how losing her father changed her. Maybe he was the thing that kept her soft and kept her grounded, and losing him made her totally unhinged, and she chopped her hair off and did all this stuff and whatever. Now you've justified it. Now she's compelling. Now she means something. It's supposed to be this blocky looking dude chick who serves no purpose other than to be the bad guy who doesn't even get her comeuppance.
Yep. And then Andy from the UK. Hey, Andy, how are you? It's so good to see you both better in real life.
Oh.
I know, it sucks that Celebration got canceled.
I know he was even hoping that maybe he'd still be able to come without it, but his flight got...
Yeah.
He's stuck out there. Did you hear? He was telling me this crazy stuff, though, during the protests in the UK. He was at the station when protesters broke in and flooded it. Yeah.
Oh, my God, that's scary.
They had to lock themselves in a room. Fortunately, he was okay. But...
that's terrifying.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. No, I was going to say something about, here's the thing, and people might lose their fucking shit over this, but if you can't handle the truth, then it's like, I don't know what to tell you. I want to quote the movie, but it's okay. I need to get that clipped. When Jack Nicholson going, you can't handle the truth.
You can't handle the truth.
Okay.
That is a great one.
Kids are going to dress, or, as you get older, you get to that age where you stop listening to your parents, you dress however you want. Okay. I'm completely fine with there being a trans character in a game, because post-apocalyptic, even in right now in real life, who the fuck cares? I don't care if you're gay. I don't care if you're trans. I don't care if you're, just plain and simple and normal, average, everyday jokes. That doesn't have anything to do with, that doesn't take away from your value as a human being and what you have to contribute to the world, or what you have to contribute to this friendship kind of thing. And so, there was kids that I was friends with when I was 5 years old, and it's you know, they, you know, a girl that, you know, like likes to play Barbies, or like a little girl that likes to play with Legos, or, you know, maybe a boy that likes to play with Barbies, or he likes My Little Pony. And it's like, and you know, sometimes you can tell with kids, you know, when they're young, how they're going to be when they're older. And so post-apocalyptic world, you're still going to run into gay people. You're still going to run into people that are trans. You're still, you know, drag queens might still, you know, be having their hair long, or like when you go and loot a place, you go get the more.
I love this idea that in some post-apocalyptic world, in order to like kick back and relax, like a bunch of drag queens get together, like let's put on a drag show on Fridays, you know. Just for the barracks, just for us and us and the survivors.
It's like if we're looting something, I'm still like, usually if I'm not like getting chased by zombies, like if I'm in this universe, I'm probably gonna wander down the the toy aisle and see, oh, is there a lightsaber? Like you're still gonna have that little memento that you keep with you, you know, that's part of who you are. Jessie's obviously gonna have something very different than I have, but that's something about being a human and having those human personality traits. I would be fine in a post-apocalyptic world if, you know, there's a trans character and the character goes by Abby, and you just like, all right, you're Abby, okay, cool, let's survive, let's not get killed by zombies because you're a human, we're both on team human, cool beans, ready, team break. Exactly. But I guess they're not. I don't know what they're trying to do. I don't know.
Yeah. Which also then seems like it sounds also like you have this issue where it's like people are willing to go here and then shy away. Like he's pushing this gay narrative so much, but stopping short of like, okay, designing her to look like a trans character, but not taking that step and being like, all right, she's a trans character. And then it sounds like there is a trans character in the game who's used as like a punching bag, you know, for according to that one person who talked about it, who played it. It's like, you know, it's that bullshit lip service stuff where it's like you want to talk the talk, you don't want to walk the walk. It's like, okay, so you're gonna push, you're gonna rant, and it's again, it's not a big deal if you do or don't have a trans hair. Again, like you said, it neither takes away from like your sexuality, your identity. It neither takes away from nor adds to any experience. You know, someone else I know being gay doesn't mean like I like them better automatically because they're gay. It doesn't mean I'd like them less because they're gay. They just are. It just is. So having or not having these characters is one thing, but if you want to shove this lesbian narrative down our throats for months before the game comes out and be like, it's so important that I have these lesbian characters, hooray for me, but then you want to completely mishandle trans characters, Lando breaking everything. But then you want to completely mishandle your trans characters and call them bullshit. I'm like, you can't run around running your mouth about wokeness and only handle it in one area and then do a piss poor job in all the other areas. It doesn't make any sense.
Well, it's like one of those things. It's like it you know, I like an Alien, how Ellen Ripley's character wasn't originally written as a woman, but they like Sigourney Weaver and she got cast as the part, and so you can change the name from Alan to Ellen. There you go. Very simple switch. And it doesn't matter because it's the character. And I was actually having this conversation with somebody the other day, and I'm just like, sexuality doesn't matter. Like, sexuality doesn't have anything to do with a human's value. And they're like, yes, it does. And I'm like, so in that case, children don't have sexuality, right? Children aren't interested. Children don't care. If anything, they cringe when there's grown-up stuff on the TV. Like, if a character kisses, they're like, ew, gross. And I'm like, so you're saying that children have no value because they have no sexuality? There's nothing wrong. And even people that are asexual, there's nothing wrong with a person not, you know, it doesn't add to you. The only time that is important is when you are looking for a romantic partner. It doesn't take, or it's just stupid.
That's it. Exactly that. It's people blow this thing out of proportion to this ridiculous level on both sides. You know, liking and hating. It's literally the only thing your sexual orientation to do with is exactly like you said. The only time it matters, and the only reason why I should care about it is if I'm looking for a partner. Right? If I meet a guy and he's gay, well then, you know, I'm obviously not going to date him. Like, that's it. And I never have that problem ever again. So literally, like, it's never going to matter to me. I don't care. Bang.
Like, the only, like, a perfect example, now that you said that, in Clueless, she's interested in the guy, then she realizes that he's gay.
Right.
You know, she's trying to seduce him, and then he's like, I'm going to go home, because he knew that she didn't know, and he didn't want to embarrass her, so he just says bye. And then she realizes it, and guess what? It doesn't take away his value as a person. She still appreciates everything about him. She's just not going to date him.
It's so funny you mentioned that. We literally had that on, like, over the weekend. We were watching it.
Well, see, that's when it becomes important, is if you're going to be a romantic interest for a person. That's the only time sexuality, or if you're trying to have a child. That's the only time it comes into play. you know, with this kind of stuff. Or if you're specifically telling a story of somebody discovering their sexuality and maybe having conflicts because of that. That's the only time. Aside from that, your value as a human being is not based off of who you like to sleep with.
I like the way that Jeff puts it. He's like, if your sexuality is the most interesting thing about you, I don't really want to know you.
Yep. Eric, and I see you said it's pronounced McIntyre, so Eric McIntyre. Thank you for that. I like that Millennium Falcon necklace. Very classy. It is a very nice necklace, Jessi.
I think I got it from Spencer's Gifts a million years ago. Ooh. And I have loved it ever since because obviously it's the best. It was either that or Hot Topic. one of those two excellent establishments found over multiple mills.
Jonathan Rees, thank you for the super chat. Hail both. No offense earlier on day. Just banter. I don't know what that means.
I don't know. If you were going off on stuff in the chat or like throwing out digs and stuff like that, we know what's up. As long as you're not sitting there in the chat like UPI suck, you're so ugly, man. If you're not just if you're having fun, we don't care. We're not sensitive people. I'm not for sure. But yeah.
Okay. Let me get this back up. All right, this one. Ellie, I'm gonna kill Abby. Slaughters hundreds of people to get to her. Starts strangling Abby. Has 2 seconds. Flashback of Joel. Gives up killing Abby. # Last of Us Part 2.
Sounds like this is like why I just.
This one I thought was funny. I guess she holds a baby, and somebody says it looks like the baby from The Grudge.
Oh my god, that's a terrifying child. Oh god. Is that one? So is that one supposed to be Ellie or is that Abby again?
This is Ellie.
This is Ellie because even her.
And then this is her girlfriend.
Okay, because even Ellie, like, she's a little more distinctly feminine, but it's like she's this.
Oh yeah, look what's in the game, Jessi.
What?
Yeah, it says, glad to see even in the zombie apocalypse, people still draw this.
That's kind of hysterical, actually.
You never usually see, like, boobs and dicks together. You know,
usually it's one or the other. Tits and dicks. This is a really interesting psyche. Also, like, who spends their time, like, purposely drawing hairy ball sacks? That's just weird. Like, the rocket dick, I think is hilarious. I love the rocket dick.
That one's funny.
But, like, the rest of it, I'm like, okay, if you do it, but just, like, the giant hairy ball sack? What?
Oh yeah, by the way, the stream is not for children if you got here late. And yeah, see, and then this person says, imagine being paid to draw dick pics in a game, the ultimate dream. I know. Somebody got paid to make that art, guys.
That's the question I want to ask. You talk about not using boobs and dicks together. Like, what's the psyche behind the person who got to be the artist first? Or was it a bunch of people like, hey, we gotta draw boobs and dicks on this. Who wants to draw something? Oh god.
So I think this one's a little bit play. The ultimate plan, nonsense captured live on Twitch. Let's see. Let's see what this was.
Not ready for this. This is the 3,000 million IQ plan. All right. Put down my little proximity mine. Yep. Get a Molotov. Like that bitch.
Like that bitch.
Wait till he gets closer. Throw that shit at him. Catch him on fire. Get his attention. Have him run over here and get blown the fuck up.
Oh, that's funny. I wonder who that person is because I wonder whose channel.
I don't know. That was the backfire.
I would listen to this.
That one showed a little bit of gameplay.
I would listen to this guy talk.
Why didn't you kill her? Where's your revenge, Ellie?
Yep, sounds about right.
Let's see. This one I thought was interesting because since I've been playing KOTOR 2 and I played KOTOR 1, like this stuff, I noticed, but it says box magically vanishing. Annoys me that you can't return to a previous place. Naughty Dog, The Last of Us 2. Yeah, that's a thing. There's places I can't go anymore that I could in KOTOR 1. I get it. There's a war, but still.
Yeah.
I understand this person's pain.
That's frustrating.
Because I mean, in real life, if you've been somewhere, you're able to go there again, unless that place doesn't exist. The Last of Us Part 2 is like the last 20 minutes of Mass Effect 3. Stretched over 20 hours, years from now, people will still be talking about how much of a shit show it was. Now, I never played Mass Effect 3, but I was like, okay, comparisons.
Apparently people are still talking about it, however many years later. So,
do you want to read this one?
yes, gotcha. Joel obviously is a lion, obviously a brave and cunning lion, but was killed by a group of mice. That's the reality people want to create, though. That's your stereotypical SJWs versus everyone else. All these strong, regular, real people, and all these keyboard warrior cowards who have nothing to contribute to society think they can just band together and take down giants. And it's like, sorry, you are pathetic. You're not going to win. You might win some of the battles along the way. You ain't going to win the war.
So this one is like a screenshot of them talking about it, but it says all reviews are bots. Bitch, pause. And so this is some woman named Shannon Woodward. A lot of very upset bots afoot today. All of the bots. The bot farms are fully active right now. And so those are two women talking about it. And it's like, so because somebody gives a review of a game that you don't like, they're immediately a bot. Where have I heard that before?
That sounds familiar. I identify as a Russian bot now, so too bad.
Yeah. I've been playing The Last of Us Part 2, and I love to find some of the bugs like this. And so I don't know if you can see very well, but like her legs are all messed up.
Oh God, that's terrifying.
Oh yeah, this is the one of the sexy time scenes, which I shouldn't call it sexy time scenes because nothing about it was sexy.
I've seen so many memes of this. As I have not seen the actual scene yet. I've seen it meme now like probably a zillion times in the past few days.
Performance summary, The Last of Us Part 2. Critics score, player score. Something about that is not matching up, guys.
And everyone acts like, oh, well, the critics are the people who are paid to do this, so clearly their reviews are going to be real and honest. And all those reviewers.
Yeah, the people that are paid to do this are going to be real and honest.
Who get things like free copies of The Last of Us 2 a week before it comes out so they can put out their reviews and build a hype for the game. So you have all the people who are sympathetic, like The Guardian, pointedly not a video review site, game review site, who gets to proudly put their 10 out of 10 for The Last of Us. Meanwhile, if you look at IGN Japan, IGN US is all like 10 out of 10, 5 out of 10, whatever they give it. IGN Japan, meanwhile, gives real reviews and gave it a very low score. So if you find the reviews that are not beholden to Naughty Dog, all the critic reviews are not those either. But guess what's getting compiled and guess what's getting put out is only the people that are kosher, only people that are saying the right things. None of the wrong thing people are allowed. None of the wrong speak people. Only the good speak people. All of you double plus on good people. Away you go.
Do you want to read this one?
The best way to describe The Last of Us Part 2 is gathering up all 6 of the Infinity Stones, only not to snap your fingers at the end. The story is complete trash. Fuck you, Neil Druckmann.
Some people are not happy about this. And I wouldn't be either if I waited 7 years. And then somebody said one explosive arrow did this, so I guess it killed all the enemies. So there's still some bugs that they need to work out. This is the one. Okay, so I love the game Jak and Daxter. I love that game. That was like one of the first video games I watched my friend play. And so I like that. But they said, love the Easter egg. And I retweeted it and I actually said something. I'm like, they have enough time to put Easter eggs of their older games, but they don't have enough time to fix the story and do the timing correctly.
Right. To pace out they don't have enough time to test play their game and figure out the plot holes. Like, you get 7 years, dudes. That doesn't take that much time.
So here we go. So this is the Metascore, 32, user score 3.5. And that one was for Sonic. Let's see. Mass Effect 71 to 4.9. Last of Us Part 2 95 to 3.4.
So what that tells you is clearly either every person who ever reviews on anything on the site is a bot, or the critics cannot be trusted from this site. You cannot be trusted because you're seeing those discrepancies. Like even with some of those small, even ones that are closer together, like the Sonic one, where it's much lower. So there's still a large discrepancy.
Maybe Wii doesn't pay off people.
But even there is a big, large discrepancy between the critic score and the user score. And that's one of the things I think is different about video games than like watching a movie. there's certain things. Watch a movie, you can go like, okay, well, I like these parts, I didn't like these parts, whatever. When you're playing a video game, you're so engrossed. It's like if enough things are wrong that the game isn't enjoyable, you're just never going to play the game, and that really polarizes the score you're going to give it, because you're like, okay, if this thing was just a little bit better, I'd probably be giving this game like a 55% because it's not great, but I can play it. But this thing was so bad that it's just unplayable. Suddenly, there's not a whole lot of middle wiggle room in there. There's not a whole lot of middle ground where someone's gonna be like, this game was really, really bad, but it has this like one redeeming quality. No, if it's bad enough that you're just turning it off and not playing it, we're never gonna play it again, your score is gonna be like a 0, a 5, something really, really low. And that's logical. That makes sense. But these gigantic discrepancies in some of these other games, like, you're creating a trend here. There's a trend here, and sure, maybe if and even if you want to say, well, the trend is just that all our users are bots and terrible and review bombing, well, great. Clearly, you don't do enough to screen your users. Clearly, you don't do enough to prevent bot accounts. So maybe you should fix this. Maybe this is a you problem, not an us problem.
Let's see. So this one says for the Last of Us Part 2, 94, based on 94 critic reviews. So only 94 people voted, and it got, out of all of those 94 votes, it got 95%. Users are fucking 22,524 people gave their ratings of it, and altogether, I believe this is based on like the communal. I can't say the word right now.
Average, yeah.
The average user score out of 22,000 people is 3.4.
Do you know how much it has to be stacked against any of the good reviews to bring the average down that low?
Yeah.
Like that's even with that large of a sample size, an overwhelming majority of the reviews are negative. If you wanted to, I mean, you could. I would venture to say, if you went through and let's say you took out 50, let's say you took out the 10,000 lowest reviews, right? The 10,000 worst reviews, that number's not getting over 10 still. Even if you were to pull out, the lowest, or maybe over 10, maybe up in your 20 or 30 range. Certainly, even if you slashed the numbers, even if you just arbitrarily, wantonly removed, majority of the negative reviews, your number is still not going to look good. It's still going to be that dark shade of red. It's people don't understand this stuff. Like, and as Lady in Disguise points, if you look at the users, there's a lot of 10 out of 10 review boosts. Like, you can't talk about one without the other. You can't sit there and say a lot of review bombing. There's always review bombing in both directions. Whenever there's some controversy like this, it happens in both directions. The negative ones tend to be more, people tend to be more inspired to leave a negative one than a positive one without having played it and stuff. But there is just as much 10 out of 10 review bombing from the other side. So,
somebody's saying some of the positive are negative, like they're giving a positive review, but everything they say is negative.
Right?
I think
That's what I hate. You read the well, this is bad and this is wrong and this is questionable and this is that, but virtue 10 out of 10. And you're like, what?
PewDiePie is playing it tomorrow at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Good to know. Yeah, because PewDiePie is live streaming the whole game.
Oh, that's hilarious. I will not be getting up at 5 in.the.morning to watch PewDiePie. But
oh my god, that's even earlier for me.
Yeah, it's 5 in.the.morning for us. Yeah, not happening. But I appreciate that he's doing that, and it sounds like his commentary is hilarious.
I watched the clips. I'm not waking up that early. I'd never played Modern Warfare, but it's Call of Duty. Yeah, fuck no, never playing that. But that's terrible. Let's see. Oh, so this was Neil. He said, "Oh man, just a few hours, and we have almost double the number of user reviews for The Last of Us Part 2. The first game received in 7 years. Love the passion. Winky kissy face." He's just kind of. I've seen a lot of tweets, and he seems just to be like a sarcastic asshole about it.
He's just laughing. He's laughing all the way to the bank. He doesn't care if you love his game or you hate his game. Enough people bought it. He made money off it. I'm just guaranteed you're going to see a Last Jedi effect where people went to see it, and then you have a very steep drop off in sales once people realize how absolute dog shit it is.
Oh my God, look at this. So 27% of the things are positive, which means 4,430 people positive ratings. Mixed is only 2%, which is 409 people. 11,356 as of when this was posted gave negative reviews. So 70% of people said this game sucked.
So once again, here, let me just do some quick math right here. We'll pull out the mixed rating. So between the top number and the bottom number, we've got close to 16,000 total reviews, right? So if you pull out, it's 16,000 total reviews between the positives and the negatives, right? If you pull out 5,000 of the negative ratings, you still have 60-40 negative to positive. If you pull almost half of the negative ratings out there, you still have, you could have that number, and you would still have, again, close to 60-40 more negative than positive. That's insane.
Yep. Sony and Naughty Dog spent an estimated $100 million to make The Last of Us Part 2 per Screen Rant, which that's not a very reliable source, but which was aimed at a target audience of over 30%. While it may be considered a critically acclaimed title to the media, public opinion is turning into commercial failure.
And that's the thing, you know, there's no Academy Awards for your video games, you know, nothing like that. You know, there are, awards and stuff that are given out and whatnot, but it's not like you can make this critical darling as a video game and have it be a smash success because all the critics are like, graded as no. This is direct to consumer. It doesn't matter. You're not going to win it. There's no Golden Globes for you. There's no Academy Awards for you. There's no launching careers, into these great trajectories, building actors' lives and whatnot. This game lives and dies by the users. And if people aren't buying it, if people stop buying it, if people don't like it, if there's no market, because that's one of the things, this could still be a financial success for Naughty Dog. And if the reviews are overwhelmingly this negative and continue to be this negative, there is no demand for a third one. Then if you either you screwed yourself out of potentially a money-making franchise. If you just done it right, you'd be riding this high and thinking about Last of Us 3. But now you've killed your game. You had the opportunity to make an incredibly anticipated sequel. You could have turned this into a franchise, and instead you killed it on take 2 because dumb. I don't know.
Well,
E3 is not the Academy Awards, okay? Calm down.
Also, at the same time, it's like people aren't going to want to play this next year. They're not even going to want to play this next month. There's never going to be, the demand for it is only right now. No, in a year from now, nobody's going to be playing this game. In 2 years from now, in 10 years from now, it's not something like Knights of the Old Republic, where that game has been out for 20 years, and I'm just now playing it, and people are still talking about how that's a good game.
Yeah.
People still play Halo. People still play all of these games that I
still play Max Payne. Huh? Max Payne is like a kind of one-to-one in the sense it's a third person. It's a shoot 'em up. It's cool because it's like I always say John Wick was like Max Payne the movie done right, but it has this plot that it's a riveting plot for me. And I've played, and those graphics have aged horribly at this point. It's an older game. I've played through that storyline 4 or 5 times, start to finish, and it is a long game. And I'm not. That's even coming from me, who's not like a consistent gamer. But in the span of my time, I've probably played that campaign start to finish at least 5 times. Because I love that game. If you put it out there, and so right now, if they're like, we're gonna relaunch Max Payne, we're gonna re-release the original game, just that, don't even make me a new one. The sequels were definitely lesser games. Reboot my game with nice new graphics and all that fancy shit. I'm buying it. I'm in, right? But if it was something that had disappointed me and I didn't play it, and I'm not gonna play, I haven't played it in years. I haven't thought about it in years. I never think of it. I don't think of it fondly. And now it's Last of Us 3, I'm just not going to pay attention. It's just going to pass me by if they were even going to do something like that. 7 years. Again, this is the kind of game people went back and played multiple times. The game people were passionate about. This is people's favorite game ever. Chris Stanley likes my reboot Max Payne idea. This is people's favorite game ever made, and to have this level of disappointment, it's like the Star Wars fans. Some people I talk to still are soured on the original, still don't like to watch it as much anymore, still don't buy merch, still don't, do that. And this is now we're at this point already a few years removed from that, and people have that sour taste in their mouth. That's what Ryan Johnson's never going to do. You think there's going to be hype? You think there's going to be excitement if they come out and go, Ryan Johnson's making a trilogy? No, disappointment. That's what it is. scoured the people. You sat, and now fuck Last of Us. Even next Naughty Dog game that comes out, people are going to be very suspicious of because they've been burned, and it has nothing to do with identity politics. It has nothing to do with having lesbian characters or people being man babies. It has everything to do with you didn't make a good sequel. You did not deliver. You did not follow up the same way of what you promised. That's something you can make the argument. It's just a video game. It's okay if there are plot holes. It's okay if there's this. Not when it's the highly anticipated follow-up of a game that had it all the first time around, of a game where people were riveted by the story, where they're invested in Joel, where they're interested in this, where they're hooked into these characters and have been waiting 7 years to find out what happens next. You have a legacy to uphold. This is not your first fucking pass at making a video game where you get to go, oh, well, we dropped the ball on a couple things here and there. We didn't realize how important the plot is. You do. You know exactly how it is. You have 7 years worth of compiled data from users telling you how much they love Joel, how much they love the story, how much they love this world, how much they love the relationship between Joel and Ellie, only to shit the bed like this. How? You had the deck stacked in your favor.
I know.
You made The Force Awakens. You had the deck stacked in your favor. How did you set the bar for yourself so low and still manage to not meet it?
Because they want to subvert our expectations.
Subvert my expectations by giving me something fucking good. At this point, Hollywood, the media, this woke ass story, you want to subvert my expectations? Make something good.
But Jessi, that's too hard. That is way too hard for them to make something good because that, you know what that requires? Work.
Actual understanding of what real subversion of genre is, which is having a deep understanding of the original genre that you're trying to subvert, knowing it so intimately that when you do subvert it, it still flows, it still works, and it reads as clever and fun and ingenuitive, and we're hooked and we're on board, as opposed to a slap in the face to the fans because we were too goddamn lazy to do our goddamn job. Subverting genre is not as simple as going, I'm that angsty, emo kid in college who just didn't play by the rules. I never did the assignment the way the teacher told me to. I did it my own way. No, you got to do it right first. You have to put in the work and put in the hours to understand what it is you're trying to morph, because that's what subversion is. It is a morphing, a reimagining of an existing genre or trope or something, and you have to understand what it is you're subverting in order to do that. You can't just go, ha, 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 let me do this and score points, clever points with my buddies and fist bump, look at what I did. No, that is not how the real world fucking works. You have to understand what you're doing in order to be able to do it. That is basic logic. How does it escape these people? I don't understand.
I don't think anyone does. But yeah, this is somebody saying The Last of Us Part 2, me watching Ma'am getting bareback. So I think that this is in reference to the sex scene.
Which is
for whatever reason that's in the video game. Okay, so this one was, as somebody that hasn't played this game, or hasn't played any of these games, that didn't know much. Okay, so it's The Last of Us Part 2. Just gonna leave this here. The Last of Us Part 1. And so this is Joel comparison. Experienced survivor, never trust strangers, always playing it extra carefully in any situation. That's number 1. That's how he survives. Last of Us Part 2. Yeah, let's go to that lodge full of people we don't know anything about and be friendly.
I am, people talk like all the freaking, people, all the white people being allies and shit like that. And they're like, I'm outraged on the behalf of everyone else who's been oppressed and whatnot. I'm outraged on behalf of everyone who loved The Last of Us 1. I'm outraged on your behalf. I've never even played this game. I know some people who really love it and that's it. But what? Just... God, because this, for me, as someone who loves the zombie genre, who loves survivalist stuff, who loves, talking to my friend who does love The Last of Us, the first one, that was actually a great moment for us. So, my personal connection to this game is that my friend Torrent and I used to go on and on about our zombie apocalypse survival scenarios, and then he discovered The Last of Us, and he was, and this brings in the idea of a fungal-based zombie infection, and he brought this, and he's like, "Ooh, I'm playing this game, and what if our zombie, because we always plan for zombie apocalypses. What if it's airborne? What if it infects animals? What if it's this? What if it's that?" And so we brought this to the table. What if it's fungal, a fungal infection?
What does that mean? Like, how do they get infected in this game?
So the zombie virus is not a virus, it's a fungus, basically. So it's similar, it blends things like plague inc, like infection scheming, like outbreak concepts with zombie concepts. So different things have done, like World War Z, the book, not the movie, the zombie virus was a mutation of rabies. You know, so in The Last of Us, it's a mutated fungus. It's like there's a fungus actually that does take over ants and turns them into like zombies, so that it brings them to, you know, favorable areas so that the spores can propagate and whatnot. So it's basically that this fungus wants to propagate. It uses human hosts. It spreads the disease, you know, and through biting and contact and whatnot, they get that fungus too, and it propagates the fungus. So it's just the way that the infection starts. If you nerd out about zombie stuff, this is really fun. So like for me, it's like when I learned about this and this game and how it's this fungal-based zombie, I always actually wanted to play the first one. Because we would have these endless talks about how it's different. We would nerd out about that. How is a fungal zombie infection different from a viral one? Different from what is, God forbid, a necromancer? And then we have to hunt down the necromancer. And it's terrible. And all this, we really geek out about this stuff. So I'm really interested. For me, that whole survivalist element is really there for me. So just even reading this, I'm like, that would piss me off too. That would totally piss me off. I would be livid in that situation, because already right there, I'd be watching that cutscene and be like, what are you doing? Who is this man and where is Joel? Like, it just, I can't.
Yeah, like when I saw this, I was like, okay, now I understand. You know, I understand now. When you take a character that has these character traits, and that's why this dude is the one that's going to survive, that's going to be on your zombie apocalypse team, and then he goes, okay, that's one of the first things. Okay, in zombie apocalypse, okay, yes, you have to worry about the zombies, but at the end of the day, you have to worry about the other people, because everyone is out for themselves. And when you are, you know, your back is against a wall, you know, a tiger is always going to slash out and bite you. It's not going to go down without a fight. Exactly. So it's like, yes, let's go into a lodge full of people we don't know. That's like one of the biggest no, unless you are in immediate need of medical attention. You don't know if those people are going to murder you and eat you, exactly. Murder you and take all of your shit, use you as their slave. It's like, that's more worrisome than fighting a zombie. Because fighting a zombie, okay, you don't have to worry about being compassionate. You got to kill them. How do you kill them? What weapons do you have? Like that, you kind of know. This situation, when I saw this, Survivor analyzes every situation, then goes, let's go hang out with these people we don't know anything about.
Right, because that for me, actually, when we talked about my friend to be zombie apocalypse scheme, that was something we schemed for too. Survive, like, what if happens we meet other survivors? We had a whole plan for that. Our theoretical zombie apocalypse, we have an entire plan for how we handle meeting survivors, because it's just as important. Like you said, that the only way I'll accept this decision to go to this lodge full of people is if he had it on good authority that the lodge was full of Twinkies. Then, okay, makes sense.
Yeah, this one is what did it for me. I'm like, and even like, look at the difference in his eyes right here. Like, this is a completely different man than this man. Like,
it's hardened, where you see the hauntedness in his eyes versus this other guy who's just like, I'm a dude. I'm a gruff dude.
It honestly feels like they're switched. It feels like the one in the second picture is he just lost his wife and children because of the zombie apocalypse. This is like years later. Yeah, I lost my wife and kids in the beginning of this apocalypse. Now I know how to survive, you know?
Yeah, that's I've seen some shit face. Last of Us 2 is like, well, I lost everything in the zombie apocalypse, but it's been years and I've developed great grooming habits on the road. Hooray for me. And I found this really great fungal spore from dead zombies that makes my skin look amazing. Like, look at this. Check out this tan. I've been at the beach. Thanks, guys. What is going on? I do notice it is nice they kept a scar consistent from one to the other, but you know.
Oh, on his nose, yeah.
Yeah. Did you, Anna, have you not seen Zombieland?
I have, yeah. I didn't watch the second one. I watched the first one.
Okay. Because I just got such a no reaction on my Twinkie comment. I thought that would have.
Oh, I was reading. That's why.
Okay. I thought it at least elicited a sympathy chortle. So.
Yeah, that he traveled everywhere to try to find his Twinkie, and then he finds it at the place. Why so damn buff?
Yeah.
If they gave it to her character, that the reason why she's so buff is because of that. She wants to survive. She works out every single day. But then again, you also have to remember, women are not built this way. We don't have that wide of shoulders. No, I have pretty wide shoulders for my size, but still.
And that's, yeah, I mean, she also, like, that face, that is a man face, too. Like, those are man features. It's, like, there's some definitely ambiguous ones. Some were like, okay, you can see one or the other. But there's the hardness. And that's, like, when everyone was playing the face app thing. A lot of what the face app does when it makes you, like, changes you feminine to masculine, the biggest change is it'll change your hair. You know, if you have it makes, you know, girls' hair, long hair short if you're turning yourself into the dude version. For me, since I already have short hair, you can see really clearly to make me look more masculine, you harden my features. It trims some of the fat, hardens some of my features, and bushes out my eyebrows. That's what that is. That's like she's got like the masculine version of a more ambiguous face.
This one is what I thought was plot is garbage.
What?
Greta.
Oh, that's hilarious. I was like, what? Oh god.
Greta Thunberg.
Poor Greta. I feel bad for her because she's like probably a real good kid that just got completely co-opted to be a pawn in a movement.
Let's see. The Last of Us Part 2. I would like to apologize to Ubisoft for mocking Discovery Tours in Assassin's Creed and people who plead for skip gameplay mods. Where can you skip sections to progress in games? Can Naughty Dog introduce a skip Abby mode in The Last of Us Part 2, please?
What if they do? What if like a year from now they do that just because they're in such their name is in the toilet so badly that they're like, how do we get engender goodwill? All right, Last of Us Part 2 where you don't have Abby. No Abby mode. That would be great.
That's what a lot of people were saying. They're like, I want to. Oh, then I think that's done because that's all Mother's Day stuff. But yeah, so that was all of those The Last of Us stuff. Now we can, what base? Well, how do you feel about it now that we've read all of those?
I want to punch Neil Druckmann in the face. I mean, like again, I'm now outraged on behalf of people who are also outraged. I am doing the thing. I'm outraged on behalf of other people who don't have an outlet for their outrage. I will rage for you. I will rage on. Fair internet.
Well, see, that's like one of the things where I'm just like, okay, I'm trying to pull this up as well because we're going to go talk about how Michael Keaton is coming back to Batman now. And I think that's the only things that we're going to be able to get to today because I was late and I apologize for that.
It's we've also already almost been going 2 hours, so
yeah. But we're going to just kind of touch on this. But yeah, overall, I think like I said earlier, going on Twitter, you get to go see how long that person's account has been made. You can see their other tweets to see that they are a real person, not a bot. Even if they're going by like a fake username, like I love dogs 142. This is how I feel about The Last of Us Part 2 as compared to a site that's made for reviewing, and a person can literally make a review in one day and go leave a review. Like anyone can do that on something that they've never played, but seeing that on Twitter, it's like, okay, this I don't know. I like to look at that and see what people are saying.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, look, it's there's a lot there. I mean, if you just look at our chat too, because people are so quick to discount. Oh, this is not a real person. I don't think that Jedi Padawan Tano is Jedi Padawan Tano's real name, but they're not. They're definitely a person, actually. Here. So clearly,
yeah, I don't think Mauler is Mauler's real name either. Just
just Mecha Random 42. Nobody knows. Actually, I know her real name, but I'm not going to say it.
I do too.
She hates it.
She told both of us, remember?
Yeah, I know. I do remember. Those were fun.
It's like Doomcock. Okay, Doomcock, obviously, that's not his real name. He doesn't live at the center of the earth. That's a character. But it's like we all know that that's a real person.
Wait, Anna, Doomcock doesn't live at the center of the earth?
Spoiler alert.
Oh my god. Mind blown.
Sorry, everyone. I just ruined your life and ruined your dreams.
I'm actually a little concerned for the future of the Phantom Menace because at some point, I am the God Empress and he is Overlord, Dictor Van Doomcock. I'm like, is there ever going to be a point where when we are at the point of like world domination where we're going to butt heads? Like at some point, sooner rather than later, we should probably sit down and get on the same page with our world domination plans because otherwise there's going to be a massive war and I'm going to win. So sorry, Doomcock. I feel like we should get on board before that happens.
Let's see. So I'm going to pull this up. Jessi is most likely going to read this to you guys or just summarize it. So Michael Keaton talks to return as Batman for Flash movie.
Yeah. So.
Okay, let's get rid of this. Sorry, I apologize for this whole thing. Keaton last played the character in 1992 Batman Returns and skewered the idea of fated superhero actor in 2014 Oscar-winning Birdman. I love that movie.
That's such a good movie.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh, so good on so many levels.
let's see. There may be a new Batman in town, and he's the same as the old Batman. Oh, that's mean. Michael Keaton was famously starred as the Caped Crusader in the Tim Burton-directed Batman movies. Is in talks to reprise the character for Warner Brothers DC The Flash. I don't see the context of that, but do you want to finish reading this for me?
Mm-hmm. All right. So Ezra Miller is on board to star as Barry Allen, aka The Flash, in the feature that will be directed by IT filmmaker Andy Muschietti. Clearly, that choking out women in Iceland blew over quickly. But wait, there's more. If a deal makes, Keaton wouldn't just return for Flash, but possibly for several other DC-oriented film projects. Sources tell THR that the role being envisioned for veteran actor is akin to the role played by Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, something of a mentor or guide, or even string puller. Batgirl is one of the projects, good editing there, guys, in development that could fall into that category. Warner's had no comment. Keaton was mainly known as a comedic actor when he nabbed the plum title role in 1989's Batman. He initially took heat from fans that didn't see him as imposing or chiseled, but the movie became a sensation, and the actor reprised the character in the 1992 sequel Batman Returns. Afterward, Keaton tried to distance himself from his role and even skewered it in 2014's Birdman, where he played an actor that once starred in superhero movies. The part earned an Oscar nomination for Best Actor. See, I never felt that Birdman was him trying to attack his own legacy as Batman. I felt like Birdman was him coming to terms with his legacy as Batman.
I thought it was like a poetic metaphor for it.
Really, for me, really was. Matt Reeves' The Batman, starring Robert Pattinson in the title role, is currently being looked as separate from Flash and other DC Universe movies, but the Flash feature project offers an intriguing pathway between franchises. The story is said to involve not just time travel, you lost me, but interdimensional travel. This is the idea more tantalizing now with the Keaton development that you can cross over from one movie universe to another.
So this is Hollywood Reporter. I don't know how reliable it is, but what I've been saying this for years, even before I had a YouTube channel, I was saying this, and I'm just like, okay, when I was a kid, I remember when Batman Beyond was coming out, and I'm like, perfect. Michael Keaton is the perfect age for a Batman Beyond movie. Oh my God. And people like me that were children when that came out, guess what? We're grown-ups now. We have jobs with money. We will go see that because we remember when we were a kid, and that was the show that we watched when we were a kid. You can get the whole generation excited again. And not only that, everyone else that was, alive and able to speak in 89 when Batman came out. And also, me when I think I have the book around here somewhere. But when Batman, because that was the first Batman I ever saw. I remember I saw Michael Keaton as Batman. I saw him as Batman. Then the Christian Bale Batman came out. But in my head, like the first Batman that I associate with, well, it's actually the cartoon, but it's Michael Keaton. So I'm like, okay, have Michael Keaton at the perfect age right now, be Batman and Batman Beyond. Absolutely. You get to be in the future. You get two Batmans. You get two.
You do absolutely. Now, do you think that's something that Warner Brothers and DC is maybe ramping up to?
If they have him back, I don't see why they wouldn't. I honestly don't.
It does seem like a smart play. It kind of seems like, let's see if we can bring now the whole time travel and this and that. It feels like a convenient excuse to try to rewrite some of their past wrongs, which I get because look, they have made missteps and it's going to take a lot to kind of smooth some of that over. It sounds like maybe this is their test run. Okay, we're going to throw out our Michael Keaton Batman as this older mentor type. We'll throw him in Flash and see how he works there because Flash is sort of I'm not gonna say a nothing burger. He's still an important character. It's still going to be an important movie, but I don't think the future of DC is going to live or die by the success of the Flash film.
Nobody likes Ezra Miller. Nobody cares. See, if they're saying, "Oh, I'm making a Flash movie," I'm like, I don't care. They say Michael Keaton's in it as Batman. I'm like, I want to see it.
It's a huge draw now, but it's also again, it's a sort of a fluff movie in the sense of they're whatever they're building towards. It's like a soft opening. Okay, let's throw Michael Keaton back in as Batman and see how he tests. Do people like it? They do. Great. Let's talk Batman Beyond.
Let's see. So this is Terry. Did you ever watch Batman Beyond?
Yeah.
Okay. So
the original animated series, but I did enjoy it a lot.
Okay. Well, I remember when I think that they had a movie. I just always remember the commercial for it. But look, you could even get with the kid that played Spider-Man. Michael Keaton and him, or like get a younger, 20, because Terry's still in high school. Okay, so I honestly recommend, and people lose their mind over this, I have absolutely no problem with an older actor playing a younger role. You know, absolutely no problem. I think the more experience, it's very rare that you find somebody very young that is talented, like especially when you get with children, like child actors. That's hard. You have to work with what you get. But when you have somebody that's young, if you're, you know, like look at Miley Cyrus's brother who was like 40 something years old and he's playing a teenager. It's if you look young enough and you can pull it off, I'm fine with that. I'm
that
fine.
Woman who played wasn't the woman. That's what her actress's name. Who played Moaning Myrtle in Batman? You're supposed to be like 12 in that role.
You mean Harry Potter?
It's starting Harry Potter brain in Harry Potter. It's like Moaning Myrtle in Harry Potter. Like, she's supposed to be like 12 in that role, but that actress was I can't remember the name of that actress, but she's known because she's that really young sounding voice. She's known for doing voice acting, and she looks younger too. For being like way older, playing super young roles and stuff. I have actually a good friend of mine who's an actress. She'll actually even like just lie to people like in casting registers and say she's younger than she is. Her agents have told her to do that because she's pushing 40 and she could easily pass for 18.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah, she's very low. She's good genes. But I wonder if this is the kind of thing if they're introducing now, also seeing how that plays. Okay, we have a lot of sort of fish out in the water right now, a lot of bait in the water, and we're going to see what catches fish. Like, let's see how Bat Pat does. Okay, let's see how this interdimensional time travel and stuff works in Flash, and see how Michael Keaton plays. Maybe we're moving into a Batman Beyond, where through some time warp or whatever, this young Robert Pattinson Bruce Wayne ends up stuck in the same timeline with an older Bruce Wayne, and now you bring those two together. Again, this is if Bat works out, which I'm not optimistic for, but maybe that's the idea. They're like, okay, we have this separation, so if that movie does poorly and Bat tests horribly, we can just bring in somebody else. But maybe he's sort of their idea for like, okay, if this goes well, bring those two together.
Well, I mean, even if they want to have Robert Pattinson have his own little Batman universe movie, okay. What if, I mean, he could have been Terry. I honestly think Robert Pattinson is starting to look his age, if not slightly older than how he actually is. But
I don't know.
I mean, again, that would have made more sense if you had Michael Keaton and then you have this other guy that's going to be Batman. But I get it. They're going to go do their own thing, whatever. I mean, I'm fine with Michael Keaton and maybe like not as like let me have a cane kind of thing, or unless he uses the cane to be deceiving of people. But I remember the beginning of Batman Beyond, the very first episode, it shows him in the bat suit, and he's a little bit older and he can't fight anymore, and so he has to pull out a gun, and that was like his defeated moment, that he pulled out a gun on his enemy, and that's how he beat him because he can't physically do it anymore, and that's when he knew he had to retire. And then enter Terry.
Little Terry, good old Terry.
Michael Keaton's perfect age. I'm sure he would love to do it. He would bring so much to the role, and I don't know.
And then yeah, again, like I personally disagree about Pattinson. I think he purposely keeps that like drunk in an alleyway, his 5 o'clock shadow look.
It's not that; it's his forehead.
Okay, but
he's starting to get the wrinkles, and and the bags under his eyes.
That's your.
I think because he gets. I feel like. Did I read somewhere that when he's not a method actor, but he does something along the line so that he like physically.
He's certainly not a method actor if he's not fucking working out for Batman.
I know, but he's like he does something physically to like make himself adapt to the character. Where he tries to again, he did obviously not for Batman, but he tries to live like that a little bit. But when I saw like the pictures and stuff of him in the lighthouse, and I've seen recent photos of him, he does not look like he did in Twilight, which was 10 years ago.
Oh no, for sure not. But when I like, I've seen a lot of different looks from him lately, and certainly like he's someone. I think that he has a base, very young looking face. I mean, with makeup and all that, he's gonna look. You could easily make Robert Pattinson look 25 again, or younger even.
Well, they have those de-aging stuff, so I mean, at that point, it's like when you add de-aging.
I don't even think you need de-aging for Robert. I seriously think you just need the right. Like you haven't seen him in a film role like that. You know, just the right amount, the right kind of makeup. He's gonna look 18 again. But I personally would prefer not him. I just figured that might be like we're putting the bait in the water and see what bites. If Robert Pattinson ends up being very successful and people like him, they can write him in with this interdimensionality, stuff. They could write him into a Batman Beyond. But if he doesn't work well, they've already have him written out, so he's not enough so they can recast somebody different. It's kind of like a nice best of both worlds, which is honestly, I think, what DC should have been doing more of in the beginning. I think when they leaned into like Man of Steel, Batman vs Superman, they were just rushed. They were trying to catch up with Marvel, and they really should have taken a step back, realizing too that Marvel was coming to its magnum opus. It was getting to its conclusion. They had an opportunity to come to take that place and be the new Marvel. And if you think about it, if they had actually done things correctly, that's where we'd be right now. Year-wise, if they had done things correctly and introduced their characters right now is where we would be getting to that first Justice League movie, which would be perfect because we're in this void, and a year past Endgame, we're in this void of big superhero stuff, but we've gotten excited from having this franchise built up well, like the first phase of the MCU, and now we'd be riding high on DC while Marvel gets its shit together for phase 4. So, but
if only. We've been going for a little bit over 2 hours. I like to keep this show at 2 hours. But and I know everyone, I apologize. I was late. Fingers crossed everything works out with my car because I did get into a car accident earlier today. I got rear-ended like 2 blocks away from my house. I'm pissed. But let me read some of these super chats and then we will have to say goodbye. Barney, this cuts off, but I believe it's Barney the Spaceosaurus woke. Heard of an upcoming hateful movie called Kraka. It makes Last of Us Part 2 look cute. I think I read that one.
Oh, yeah, we did.
Robert Furry, thank you for the super chat. What do you think of the person who blocked a whole bunch of us on Twitter? Someone I had no idea of. Yeah, I posted it. I saw this thread. Did you get blocked?
I don't know. I don't know who it was.
Okay, I'm gonna drop this link in the chat. Everyone, I want everyone. If you have a Twitter, click on it and then tell me if you guys are blocked or not. Let me get you the link for the person. Okay, so it's somebody. Her @ name is GAOHMME. Let me get you. I didn't know who this was, but I saw this. Actually, I'll share screen. I saw this, and the person was like, "Here, I'm posting the link. If you guys have a Twitter and you want to check and see if you're blocked, let me know. I'll post it in the private chat here for you, Jessi, too."
Thanks.
Okay, there you go. Let's share screen share. Okay, so I saw this and it says retweet if you're blocked by this person. 2.7K, and this, I retweeted it and I'm like, I don't even know who the fuck this person is. Why am I blocked?
All right, I am not Jennifer Shirley. I am not.
So I guess what happened is that she was accusing Justin Bieber of raping her or something, and she's trying to Me Too him, and she said that he did it here at this time on this day, and he had actual evidence that he was nowhere near there.
That's hilarious.
And then I guess she's saying, let me see, somebody was saying that she but people were saying in here that she's like if men show evidence, like if somebody's trying to Me Too them, and if men show evidence that the Me Too isn't real, that they're liars and that they're terrible people.
Okay, so there's a difference between saying Me Too isn't real, as in there is no problem with women getting sexually harassed ever, or taken advantage of. Okay, that's very different than saying, hey, you're trying to say I raped you and I have very conclusive evidence that I did not commit this crime that you were slanderously accusing me of committing. There's a world of difference, and if you can't see that, I'm now personally offended that I'm not blocked by her.
Oh,
I'm at her right now, and I'll be like, hey, I hear you blocked a bunch of really cool people. I'm going to do it right now. All right,
no, we need to, hold on. This is what she said. Somebody posted a screenshot. Had to chain block another 50K from an account who thought I was talking about Justin Bieber. How is anything real? Ha ha ha. I'd ask you for the name of the OP so I can Thanos them and their followers too, but you're probably completely
inundated.
I've never used that word.
Just overwhelmed with stuff.
I'd be happy to give you their name and run a chain block on them too, because engaging is very much not worth it. The 4chan attack crowd seems to be literally what they do. And then DM me. Wow, that's a mass block list. FYI, I have something on the order of 1 million users blocked.
Wow.
Why do you even, what are you doing with your time?
It is an opinion. You shut yourself up.
Oh, what the heck is this?
Business to like this, these like chain blocks.
That's funny. Yeah. I don't.
Chain blocks are just. It's to me that's just like that just means what that tells me. If you chain block, that tells me you are not interested in learning. You are not interested in being an intelligent, thinking human being. You are not interested in being challenged on anything. You are interested in living in your echo chamber and having people agree with what you say. You are interested in being a public figure that everyone where everyone kisses your ass. If people aren't kissing your ass, you're not interested. So what? She's claiming now she wasn't talking about Justin Bieber?
Apparently.
So
I don't know. I don't
Justin
even know who this
Bieber-
person is. I don't know who she is.
All right, let me see if I can
She
find
blocked
more.
me something about Justin Bieber. I don't know who you are. I didn't even know this shit was going on. Like,
I chain block people. Like, who cares though? Like, nobody actually cares about you or this. Like, why are you chain blocking people? We don't care. I don't know.
let me read a few more of these. But yeah, that's how I feel about it. I don't know who the fuck this bitch is. At this point, I don't care. Now I'm blocked.
It's like that moment. It's like that moment in Endgame where Thanos, Scarlet Witch, I don't even know who you are, but instead of her going, "Oh, you will," Thanos just punches her to death. The end. That's how I feel about this person.
Well, no, I say that like so. Sometimes I'm like, did I hurt you in a past life? Did I all of a sudden get amnesia? Like, who the fuck are you, and why are you coming at me like this? It's like when somebody like that is going around blocking. If she even said 50,000 people, I'm like, and also she's doing it based on one account, so she blocked all of those person's followers, and I'm like, who was I following that she blocked? Like, what's going on?
I don't know who you're following that I wasn't. This is fun. Like, I don't follow a lot of people though. Like, I think I follow like less than 300 people. Yeah, I follow 284 people, so I just don't follow anybody.
I follow like Cartoon Network. I follow a bunch of, and I do follow blue check marks too, but it's like all news related stuff. It's like I follow Sideshow Collectibles because I want to see when they release new Baby Yoda merchandise. Which, Jessi.
Oh dear.
Oh my God, Jessi. I gotta tell you something. So when I was a kid, even still to this day, when I think of the perfect man, I know I lose my shit over Henry Cavill, but Antonio Banderas in The Mask of Zorro. Jessi, I screamed when I saw this, and I ordered it instantly.
Oh my God, that's so good.
I even said, and I posted it, I was like, I have never purchased anything so fast in my entire life.
That's an incredible figure.
By the way, everyone, yeah, I spent $230 fucking on where I'm just gonna go to their website right now.
That was amazing.
On Zorro. I hope I'm not logged in. I am logged in, but we're just gonna hopefully it doesn't show any of my information. Yeah. Oh my God, I bought this. I don't care that it's a tiny doll.
Dude, it's awesome. It looks
Zorro.
phenomenal. Dude.
Like, oh my God, they even got his chest.
They did. That looks phenomenal. I mean, the texture on the clothing, the detail on the necklace, the detail. I mean, forget the face. The face is just perfect. Holy crap. That's a beautiful. That texture on the hair. I mean, wow. That's really nice detail on that hair.
Yeah, he even got his smirk.
It's perfect.
In the movie, his hair continuously gets shorter and shorter, and his beard like diminishes. And this scene is like when he finally goes in to get the map to where the mine is, and he's completely clean shaven, and it's like,
oh God, the reveal of him as the gentleman, and I'm just like, why are my panties wet? Why are my panties so wet?
Like my uterus just exploded.
Right,
but,
all the babies.
Oh my God, he was so hot in this movie.
Here's my persnickety thing. The one thing, and they had to, I think, just for the the grip on the figure and stuff, is the handle, the grip part of the sword is a little too long. But I think that's just for the ease. It should be tighter, but it would be much too hard to get the figure around it.
Yeah, you can't get the kid's hand.
Everything about that thing. Oh God, I would. Dude, it was
like $230 something plus shipping and plus tax. So I spent $300 on this doll of Zorro. Oh my God, look at him.
I actually kind of want that.
You get different hands. You get like the sword.
Oh my God. And the sheath, you get a sheath of the sword and the little cane and the whip. Oh my God. And the wanted poster with the brother. Oh God. That is worth every penny. What do you think, Shamiki? Is it worth it? You worked it
like, oh my god, I bought this. I'm gonna get it. It even says like that it's gonna be ships tomorrow, and I'm like, send it to my house right now. But look, I'm gonna have granted, because look at, oh god, exit. Look in this picture. This is actually a lady's hand. That's actually pretty tiny, but actually I have pretty big hands, but I'm assuming that this is going to be significantly bigger. But I wanted to share that with you because I thought you would appreciate it.
I do appreciate it. We're gonna have you best be showing that off. If it's here by next week, you best be showing it off on the Matriarchy.
Oh, I did the payment plan because I was like, I can't like look at my bank account and see that I just spent $200 or $300 actually something dollars on a doll.
That's fair.
I got bills
when it's here though.
I will ration it out.
I expect to see it shown off heavily when it is
I
here.
will be 100% doing a video thing to it.
I will watch.
You know, I'll open it. I'll show it at. I don't want to show it at my house, but I'll show the box and I'll just be like, I'm opening my Zorro. Speaking of that, I got this giant box behind me. I got to eventually open, but let me read the rest of these.
Before we finish, we did not cover any Raylo stuff today, so I did have my little thing. Let me just share it really quickly. It won't make us vomit today. It's just a nice little. But I figure we have to have something Raylo related somewhere. So
Steps in Gold is saying you're driving Peaches into Cecil's Rhymes. You don't even understand. Peaches has the same coloring and kind of look. I dressed Peaches up like Zorro one time, and he looked fantastic.
Nice.
To be fair, though, I was dressed up like Catwoman, so
that's funny. So someone, I can't remember, I was going to respond to something. Someone asked me about Cecil the other day. I haven't seen him in person and if he looked like something. I was going to make a snarky remark, but I forgot to. Darn, missed opportunities. I accidentally put my monitor to sleep. There we go. Okay. Did it lose the, I actually kicked myself out. Sorry. Okay, let me share this again. Stupid Apple, I threw my, actually put my, cursor in the corner and it put my whole damn screen to sleep. Okay. So yes, I just wanted to share that really quickly. I was shared just a tweet about somebody being bad at parking earlier and someone's trying to troll, said, I bet Raylo fans never do that. And I said, of course not. Raylo fans aren't capable of driving. Followed up with their driving equals their ability to be rational. So we're dunking on the Raylos over on my Twitter if you want to join us. And the image I won't share, I think I sent it to you last week though, is there is now official Raylo merchandise from place that people are making that you can buy. Kill yourselves now.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you want a Raylo pin? You can have one. You don't want a Raylo pin? Great. I'm not going to show you.
Raylo t-shirts, like people make them on like Etsy or on their like their online stores, like how we have Teesprings. They have Raylo ship.
If I ever see somebody with a Raylo shirt on, I'm just going to walk up to them and vomit. That's what
I'm surprised you can vomit on call.
I have a finger in the back of my throat. I'll make it happen. I'll just look at their shirt for long enough and I'll gag.
Gotcha. That is true. That's actually a good point. Let me read some of these. The Leviathan Thinker Super Chat. Hail Her Majesty Anna. Your humble and loyal Ewoks. Praise their queen. Yubna. My contribution to the new car. Aw, thank you. Yeah, that's I'm not looking forward to this at all.
Let's go.
Here's the thing. I am so cheap when it comes to like, obviously I just spent $300. That was before the thing happened with my car, but I spent $300 on an Antonio Banderas doll. But when it comes to things in life, I really need like a new car. I'm so stingy about it. And also buying cars, it's like they decrease in value the second you buy them. I don't like the point of buying cars. I wish that they weren't as expensive as they are, especially when my parents tell me, oh yeah, I bought my first car that was like a Camaro for $1,200. And I'm like,
I hate you.
like, thanks. I think I read that one. Sorry guys. I missed a bunch, so I had to go through and figure it out.
Andy said he missed his first one. So
who?
Andy from the UK, he had sent 2, and I think we read the second one, but not the first one. Just
let's see. Okay. Okay. Jeffrey Turner, I can make it to do one thing. For Batman Forever, # release the Schumacher cut. Andy from the UK, thank you for the super chat. Hey Anna, Jessi, miss you both. Sending all my love. Oh,
we miss you too, Andy.
You know, we haven't seen him since Celebration, and this one got canceled, which sucks. Gary Hellhound. Oh yeah, I read that one. Black Phoenix. Oh yeah, I read that one. Got that one. The Purple Rant. Do you enjoy doing 2016 or Doom 2020, even though the story sucks? I don't even know what that is. I have no idea what that is. But thank you.
I know about Doom, but I haven't played any of those games, so
I don't know what that is.
It's a game. You probably wouldn't like it because it's a hack and slash. I've never played it, but it's just a killing lots of people game.
Oh, gotcha.
And everyone tells me I would like because it's hella violent, and I'm like, yes, I would like this. So it sounds like a game I would want to play.
Ruben Wilson, thank you for that. All I know about this is on PewDiePie's playthrough. Yeah, I know a lot. I saw there was like 80,000 people watching PewDiePie play The Last of Us 2 the other day. And I was like,
Tulip. Jay Sean says Doom 2020 is a good game with a good story. This I have heard. People have enjoyed it so far. I have one of my friend's boyfriends was like waiting for it to drop and has really enjoyed it. I have one of my Flaming TP. He's a big Feminist Purse fan. He was really into it. He really liked it.
I haven't seen Flaming TP in a while on here.
He's always on my. I know he's dialed back. He hasn't been out in the world. He got off of Twitter too. He used to be really funny on Twitter all the time, but he's dialed back. He's been quiet, but he's because he mods on my channel, so he's really sweet. He makes a point to like come on and help moderate the chat and stuff.
That's nice. Let's see.
I had him actually on my channel the other day. We have my other friend Sean, who's a gun dude, and we were talking about like gun defense and whatnot. And Flaming TP came on to demonstrate how to. He had a friend who was a former like Navy SEAL had taught him how to do this. Demonstrate the best if you're in a situation where someone's pointing a shotgun at you, the best technique to disarm them. If you're in that situation, obviously the best choice is not be in that situation, but he demonstrated that for us on camera. I have never seen this happen before. We had a bunch of people watching. The chat went total dead silent and just watched. We were all just watching him, and it was the coolest thing.
That's cool.
Story, yeah.
Let's see. Jonathan Reese, thank you for super chat. Hail both. No offense earlier on the dicks. Oh yeah, I think I read that.
Yeah.
But thank you, and I don't know what it was, so it's fine.
Obviously, we were unbothered.
Macy Van Dusen, thank you for the super chat. Just arrived. Howdy. Well, hello. Raging Rhino, thank you for the super chat, dude. And he sends the little pear sticker where it's a fist. It's a fist pump.
I love that. I can't be. I'm not a pear with pear arms. So.
Macy Van Dusen, thank you for the super chat. Special weapons, Dalek, could wipe them all out with one shot. I'm not too knowledgeable on Doctor Who, but I know my friend Sav would probably agree if she knew what that. Well,
I agree. I love Doctor Old, not the new shit, but I watched.
I've seen like 5 episodes of David Tennant and maybe 8 or 10 episodes of Matt Smith.
Tennant is my boy. Tennant's my boy. I do love him.
I saw the indie or him regenerating, and I'm like,
God. But that whole episode where he just, I'm not ready to go, and then
I don't want to go. I'm like,
oh God, and the way he went around and saved all of his friends, God, except he couldn't save Alonzo because he lives forever, or he couldn't save Jack because he's immortal, so he hooked him up with Alonzo at the bar instead.
Raging Rhino, thank you for the super chat. It's the Last Jedi video games. F Naughty Dog. That's what I've been hearing. Thank you for the super chat. Neil Checkman, thank you for the super chat. Open your minds, haters. Oh my God. Canceled Venom, thank you for the super chat. Is cosplaying as a golf club too soon? Oh.
Only if you're also cosplaying. Only if you're also cosplaying with somebody who's dressed up as Abby. Actually, no. This is what you should do. It's got to be a dude, obviously.
I really have to get going, so I'm gonna try to. I apologize to everyone. I gotta rush through these.
Yeah, go through it. I was just talking while you were gone.
No, I'm getting. I got to deal with some of my insurance stuff because of my car. So I apologize. Sorry to cut your story off.
Oh, no worries.
Let's see. Samson, thank you for super chat. Kojima dumped on The Last of Us 2, laughing face. I don't know who that is, but I'm sure everyone else that does know what that stuff is will laugh. Picard sucks. Thank you for the super chat. LOL, love you, Jessi.
Oh, thank you.
That was when you were ranting.
I saw that one. That was really sweet.
Chris Stanley, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate the energy. Well, thank you. And that was actually for Jessi.
Always got to bring it.
Jonathan Reese, thank you for super chat. Jessi and Az rants, please. Oh, I know. Have you done a stream yet with Az?
I have not, but I would love to. He was on, wasn't he? Was he on the Brit Council or not?
Yeah, I believe so.
He was, but I have not actually streamed with him. I'd love to, though. He seems like a lot of fun.
You guys would go off. Both of you guys with your cursed blue eyes. Gene the Machine, you wouldn't invite armed strangers into your home. Yeah, I know. Very true. Maxo Rex, thank you for super chat. I think William Hope Hudgens' work inspired the first game. Also, Toho did a movie called something and inspired by him and Alfred Hitchcock too. Huh. I apologize when it's, I don't know how to read that. The Ascending Apothecon, thank you for that. What? If you censor it, I don't know what you're trying to say when you censor a word, especially, I think the second word is gay, but I don't know what the first one is. Then your second super chat is, why is his name Doomcock anyway? Does he bring doom with his willy? It's a play on Dr. Doom from Fantastic Four. And that's just me assuming it because his name is Victor Von Doom.
Victor Von Doom.
Yeah.
And he's Victor Von Doomcock, yeah.
Runs with Phantoms, thank you for super chat. Return of Keaton. I called it a while back. I'm excited for it. I know so many people have been talking about this for years.
On this. It's nice to see, something that people want actually like happen and maybe hopefully in a good way.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Dux Luther, thank you for super chat. I'm happy the hair flipping Jessi is back. I didn't care for the non-hair flipping imposter that was around for.
Where was I ever not hair flipping? Come on.
I think that one was out of love. Let me see. And guys, please do not send any more super chats. I really have to go because I need to get on this phone call before business hours end. Luckily, it's not.
Andy said the last one he said was, thank you. I almost canceled Anna, lol. Because we
no. Let's see. And then Ruben Wilson, thank you for the super chat. Justin Bieber, never heard of her. I know Justin Bieber is just terrible. Macy Van Dusen, thank you for super chat. Okay, bye all. Have a great evening. Well,
Macy.
You too. John Powers, thank you for super chat. Ladies, hail, and we'll meet again. Alita, well, thank you for that, and thank you for the super chat. And then the last one, I'll read it again. From Andy from the UK, thank you for the super chat. Thank you. I almost canceled Anna. LOL. It's okay. And everyone, thank you so much for being here. Make sure that you leave a like on the way out. Next week, we will be over on Jessi's channel, which is Mindless Entertainment. The link is in the description below. And with that being said, Jessi, you want to plug anything? Want to say goodbye?
If you guys want to look for it, I am starting a new project. It's the Shit Pancake channel. So he's on Twitter right now, @ShitPancake. You can follow him. He's starting to post some stuff. He's got a YouTube channel. He'll be posting videos soon. So go follow Shit Pancake, my cute little kitty. You saw he was the last cat who came crawl to my lap. So you definitely want to follow him.
And with that, must be going, everyone. Goodbye, good night, good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are. Goodbye.
I'll tell you where I thought I came in the forest, when the lightsaber goes like this and flies off. I said, oh, what a great entrance. Ah! Ray caught it? She hasn't even been to Dagobah for training.